All right, that's good. That looks good. All right. Give it a few minutes, see if anyone comes in. Get the playback up really quick. Hopefully everything sounds pretty good. It looks like it does, so. How's everybody doing tonight, though, if you're watching? Hopefully you're having a good evening. Dun, 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 dun. It's always nice to get ads. All right, there we go. Hopefully it sounds all right. Yep. What's up, Donnie? Oh, no, man. Everything's all good with the computer. That wasn't the issue. The main reason I was out for so long had less to do with the hardware issue. It was more of a my accounts got all locked out. It was really stupid what I was dealing with. Man, my hair is fucked up. But generally everything's pretty good. Everything's kind of standard. I appreciate the offer for the assistance on that though. What's up, Jacob? But yeah, I got it taken care of pretty quickly. But what had happened was what was more lost was more of the like data. Like I lost data, which was like impossible to replace. What's up, Brett? You know what I mean? Like it's one of them things where it's like I had a bunch of stuff saved on my computer and it's like all gone. So it's like I had to like it's been quite the quite a run. Washington by 20. Yeah, Chiefs played really well in their game. 27-24, solid win. It was kind of a boring start to the game, but then it turned pretty good at the end there. You really think Washington's going to win by 20 though, James? I don't know. The Lions seem pretty capable. They played pretty good against a really solid Philadelphia team. Oregon rock BYU. I seen Michigan also kick the shit out of somebody today. You only think they'll win by 6? They win back in 99. Yeah, that guy had that pick. I think the guy who had the interception in that game, wasn't he like working at like a Kmart or something like a couple years? Like he wasn't like supposed to be in the NFL. Like he's very he's like there's actually his story is actually really cool. And I'm not like a Chiefs, fan either. And like if you actually want to like it's actually a pretty like kind of like cool thing where it's like, oh, this guy like fought to get here. I think, but like I think he wasn't like supposed to be in the NFL. Yeah, Wendy's, it's crazy. Yeah, he's working at Wendy's and shit. That's what I mean. It's crazy, dude. Now he's fucking playing in the NFL. It's like, damn, dude, good for you. You always gotta like kind of root for those kind of stories. Hope those guys always kind of, you're like, hey, that guy, he fucking knows. He probably knows like what's like the difference in his perspective is probably pretty great. That's probably a very like Kurt Warner seems to have like a very grounded perspective as well. And I wonder if like guys who don't have like the immediate talent burst have this like wild perspective in football. It's kind of interesting. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Like Andrew Luck is probably one of the most naturally talented quarterbacks the game's ever seen, but like he just quit playing at like 28 because he's like, I'm fucking tired of this. I'm fucking super rich. And then you got Tom Brady, who looks like he's gonna die pretty soon. If he doesn't like, I don't know what he's got to start like eating fats or I don't know what happened. But the images of Tom Brady coming out, he's looking like me. I'm going through a rough image phase. It's brutal. Dude, Tom Brady, he's turning into a supervillain, and I quite appreciate the supervillain transformation. But what's up, feral child? How's it going, man? I appreciate the name. You know, Tom's addicted to football. Yeah, that's what a crackhead of football looks like. Is what Tom Brady looks like. He's 45. He's got a lot. He's like his marriage is failing because of his addiction to the NFL. He's like, I can't quit. I will say though, I don't know why everyone in the media is making fun of him again, because it's like, haven't anybody like learned that like the worst thing you could do is start making fun of Tom Brady for any reason? Like the man literally, the second you start like talking shit about him, turns into like this fucking wizard, and he just wins the Super Bowl. I feel like almost every single one of his Super Bowls have been basically fuck you tours, and like, oh yeah, you don't really think I can do this? And then he does, then he wins the Super Bowl. And it's like, well, that's crazy. Like like almost all of his recent Super Bowls have basically been like, you can't win the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh yeah, I can. And it's just like responses. He does dumb shit like the putting up the 4 thing. They said he was all finished because he couldn't even remember what down it was. Bucks over the Bills this year, unfortunately. That's kind of my Super Bowl pick as well, James. Hey Liz, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, it's bad, man. And his kids are playing football and shit too, because they're like, oh, maybe this will make him stop playing football. And Tom's like, yeah, I'm not really interested in watching you guys play football quite yet. Yeah, but you said you start watching high school games. Yeah, I lied. I can't quit. I gotta prove. It's like, Tom, what do you have left to prove? It's like the conquest of, it's like the most absurd shit in the world. It's like straight out of Albert Camus. Is like one of the greatest football players ever. Keeps playing because he's like stuck in his head that he's like got something to prove, and everyone's like, dude, what are you doing? Everyone, you're the greatest to ever play. What are you doing for? And he's like, I got something to prove. What is it? Can't tell anybody. It's like, well, the fuck is this? It's one of the most like, it's very confusing as to what he's, and you only have to think it's got to be like he wants his name synonymous with like in the, it's got to just be like just enjoys getting beat up. I don't know. He's Super Bowl. Let me know when you can spin the pigskin. Yeah, you're right. He's like, well, I think his kid's actually, his oldest kid is playing his first year of high school football. Yeah, I'm very worried about injury. He doesn't look like so something happens apparently when you turn like 45 as you start to age. Like, and it's, you know, like it actually, I actually don't think Tom Brady got plastic surgery. He looks like he's actually not getting plastic surgery to avoid the process of what aging does to some people, right? His face just sunk. It's just like I think it's supposed to do that. I read somebody comment this. They're like, I know it's funny to say that he has that, but he's actually kind of just aging. Like his face is just losing a lot of fullness and fatness, which happens to older. Like he just looks very thin. That's what I thought when I looked at him. I'm like, dude, he doesn't look. He looks like he's aged. Like that's all it is. He just looks like an older man now. And like, guys, you gotta remember, he's 45 years. Like he should look old. He plays a very aggressive, like physically demanding sport at a very old age. At a very high level too, for like, you know what I mean? Like he's a very like high level competitor in that situation. Yeah, no, yeah, he aged. That's all it is. Everyone's like, he got surgery. I think that's just, he just kind of looks weird. Have you seen his dad? He looks more like his dad and his mom now. If you've ever seen his dad, he kind of just looks more like he looks almost like how his dad was aging. Brady kind of just has like weird, like he's kind of always kind of been like a decent looking dude though, so like no homo, you know. Yeah, it's like he's losing like fat. Like it's just like he's just like slimming down. He's like losing. Pack her down. Oh, Liz, are you a Packers fan? I forgot about that. But yeah, it's it's all right. It is what it is with Tom. Hopefully, he played all right against Dallas. Not the greatest. But again, Tom doesn't really play well in September, so it is what it is. You guys want to start talking about some of these games? The Dolphins and the Ravens. We start off with the good one right away. He had a receding hairline, then he got Botox. Well, a lot of guys with the receding hairline thing, a lot of guys don't really keep the. You know how it's really easy to not go bald anymore. It's like an outpatient procedure. If you got like 6 or 7 hours, you can get like, I don't even think it takes that long anymore. They just transplant some of the hair from the back of your head and put it where you're balding. And that's how you don't go bald anymore. If you like it, and it's literally a cheap procedure now because like it's one of them things that like insurance isn't involved in. So it's like capitalist. And so it's like the price just goes down, 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 down. It's kind of like eye stuff. Generally eye like stuff is like weirdly cheap. It's just like, all right, why is this so cheap compared to all other medical stuff? Think about it, like, getting glasses only costs like $100. Getting braces or something like that is like thousands of dollars. It's like, well, I can't pay for this. Weird. Insurance is bullshit. Fucking. This is where capitalism's. Anyway, that's not gonna. There's some parts of capitalism are good. Those parts. The parts that make shit like eye visits like $100. They're like, hey, we can do like a whole thing like for a $100. I had my entire eye scanned. I have very young eyes. My eyes are 3 years younger than my actual age. I'm aging slowly apparently. Yeah, I had like look they like looked at the goo levels and shit in my eyes and like the spacings and shit. Fucking. Yep, exactly. It's a good system, just taken advantage of by shitty people. Anyway, Dolphins and Ravens. This is probably one of the games of the weekend, actually. We're starting off with an immediate plus. I know there's a lot of Patriots fans in here right now, and we all know what we want to say. Lamar is going to be beating his future team, hopefully, right? With injuries in this game, how are the Ravens looking? I think they're pretty solid. I don't think they have anything too dramatic right now. What's up, Crom? How's it going, buddy? I know Dolphins got dude, it's so likely that he's going to Miami. It's Miami, Detroit, or Philadelphia that's getting Lamar. Those are my guesses. Ravens have injured CBs, but Dolphins have injured O-line. All right. You're picking the Dolphins, but let's go Ravens. All right. Let's say the Ravens have a better pass rush than New England. I don't know. I think the Patriots might have a very underrated, but yeah, the Ravens are going to always be an aggressive team. Ravens destroyed the Jets in week 1. They beat the shit right out of them, didn't they? The thing with the Dolphins is there was no reason why they shouldn't have beat the Patriots by more than 13 points. What was it, 20-7? And they nobody looked good in that game. So you can't even you can say the Dolphins defense looked really good. Actually, you could be like, well, their defense looks really good. So that kind of is one of those things. But it's also like the Ravens looked really, really good against the Jets. They just fucking beat the shit out of them. The Jets didn't even look relevant in the game. Like the Patriots were weirdly in a game that they lost by 13. You know what I mean? That game was like had this weird feeling of like if Mac Jones and that goddamn offense could just like click it in, they'd win the game. But they fumbled like twice in key moments and fucking stupid dipshit stuff, and they could have still won that game. We could have won by 1 point, but hey, fucking. So I'm just like Miami like couldn't like do anything with like a super like they have like the fastest. They have somebody pointed out in my Discord earlier that Miami has 3 wide receivers that run 4.3 40 times. And they threw for like 250 yards and 1 passing touchdown. That's not good, by the way. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, okay, there's two outcomes of that situation, right? Um, the Patriots do know how to cover Tyreek Hill. Like, that's one of like the sneakiest things. But like the fact that like the Patriots also like built a defense designed to stop super fast teams, and it worked, by the way. As I was saying 2 years ago, if anyone remembers my thing about how the Patriots are building a new defense, and what the defense is going to be is it's going to be a defense centered around speed and hyper athleticism and ball taking away. Like, that's what the Patriots defense is centered around. It's really fast now. I would say the Patriots might have one of the fastest like corner sets in the NFL. Dude, they look great. Like, the defense looks really good already. They're very, very fast and very, very, very athletic. They're not the biggest guys, but they're very fast, athletic, and they can hit hard. Think like Kyle Duggar. Like they're all kind of like built like that. Like Jack Jones, John Jones, Marcus Jones. They're all built like the exact same way, and they're all very fast. And they all play very aggressive styles of football, and they're all like it's really interesting how Belichick has built this defense to be like a modern style. Like, we have to be able to deal with and comprehend that a quarterback can now beat us with his feet. We have to be fast at the linebacker position. You're going to see other teams start doing it because the Patriots, like, one of the things that Bill Belichick is actually really, really good at is understanding offense and understanding the trends and how the game goes. I know it doesn't look like it because the Patriots looked like complete dog water against the Dolphins defense, which is a really good sign for the Dolphins potentially in this game because, again, their defense looked really good. Or the Patriots offense was just really, really bad. But they've modernized to the West Coast offense. So Belichick understands like you have to eventually evolve. But the main thing I'm going with here is Belichick understands offense, so he sees like, okay, this is the way the game's going. My defense has to adjust to this in 2 years when the game has a bunch of guys who can run at quarterbacks. Like, the game right now has so many like freaky athletes at quarterback. Like, you need to have like a very fast defense to like compensate for Josh Allen. If that makes sense, you have to be able to compensate for a guy like Allen in like multiple levels of your defense. And then you have to worry about the fact he's got like 3 wide receivers that can kill you. So like that's a very difficult thing to do. And the Patriots have that covered with like the 5 DB set that they do. They basically throw Jack Jones in single coverage against, or John Jones, I'm sorry. Basically, the way that they took and I think other teams, the Ravens will copy this, by the way. This is why I was making this point about the way the Patriots defense plays. The way that they take Tyreek Hill out of it is they like throw a corner. They throw John Jones on this like very specific way of covering Tyreek Hill. If like it's like a very specific thing that like, and then like the safety kind of shades with Devin McCourty shading like halfway up top. They never double him, by the way. He's like never double covered. They actually double covered the other one, Jalen Waddle, more in that game because he's fucking harder for us to deal with for whatever reason. So the reason I bring that up is the Ravens will copy the Patriots because the Ravens are copycats. They're fucking really good at looking at why teams win and figuring out like, oh, okay, so the Dolphins did this very well, and look at what the problems look at how the Patriots were able to kind of neutralize this really fast receiving set. We kind of have a blueprint on how to kind of play this receiving because like before you would head into this game, you would think, how do you deal with the Dolphins receivers? Well, you've seen how the Patriots handled it. Score more than 20 points and the Patriots win that game by, and it looks like bad. Like, that would have been a bad loss for the Dolphins. Like, yeah, sure, it's bad that the Patriots lost that game, but like most people are like, yeah, the Patriots are probably going to lose. But I mean, if the Dolphins don't win, like that's going to be bad. They have all these wild new pieces, and boy, they didn't, their defense won them the game yet again when they have an offense that, oh boy. I can't imagine any other quarterback not throwing for, well, again, I don't know if it's the Patriots defense was just that good. Weird, week one fluke, just no one really plays that good week one. Oh yeah, the Patriots fucked themselves over. You can watch the offense and just be embarrassed that like there's literally a play where like Mac Jones is like yelling and like smacking his helmet and like there's guys running around like this on the field and I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm so glad I wasn't able to dude. I was that game was so stupid. I was like, is this really a football game? Like what is it? Don't let whoever runs the offense run the offense anymore. Just call up the plays. Why doesn't he just do that? At this point, it's like, Bill, just call the offense. By week 4, he's going to be doing it anyway because fucking Patricia and Judge are they're incompetent. Never really understood that one. Anyway, let's not talk about the Patriots this much. We're literally talking about the Ravens and Dolphins. But I think a lot of the reason I'm doing that is because the Dolphins played the Patriots, and that's what I'm building on. When the Ravens played the Jets, it's like an easy game. That's basically, it's like, well, yeah, you should. If you don't beat the Jets, I'm very suspect. Even week 1, it's like there's no with Zach Wilson. Maybe it's a little like, all right, yeah, I understand. Zach Wilson maybe is a guy. I don't know. He's got the dog in him, that's for sure. Fucking that dude's mom was hilarious. That literally made everybody go, all right, maybe Zach Wilson could be good in the NFL, and nothing else. No reason other than that. People went, maybe Zach Wilson could be a good quarterback in this league. The fact that the Patriots, yeah, I got the Ravens though. I don't really see any reason why I would have changed this pick. Can the Dolphins win? Yeah. Will they keep this game very close? Yeah, their defense is pretty fucking solid. Plus, they're probably going to probably going to try to recruit Lamar because at this point they got to be sick of Tua. If I'm McDaniels, I'm like, boy, my offense could be a lot more crispy if we had a little bit better armed quarterback. Again, it's week 1, so you can't really read too much into a lot of stuff, but I wonder what Mike McDaniel would do with a real quarterback. This dude's been given like Nick Mullins, like what other piece of shit quarterbacks did the 49ers give him to work with? They were giving him like complete garbage till he got Jimmy G, and then he was putting teams in the Super Bowl and NFC Championship game at a weirdly consistent basis. And it's like, wow, that's a impressive. As soon as he got like a non-retarded half quarterback, this dude was just immediately putting teams in like Super Bowl contention. And it's like that's a very interesting rise for Mike McDaniel. And it's like, boy, he probably really did. The Tua thing's got to be starting to get old for him. You think Lamar's going to Seattle? I think he stays with Baltimore or goes to Miami with the Lions and the Eagles as like wild cards. Got to watch out for the Eagles, man. They're fucking sneaky. And they're literally like a Lamar Jackson away from being like a mega power team, in my opinion. Like a scary good team. But the Dolphins with Lamar Jackson also, it's the same situation. Those are little Super Bowl teams. Again, but I can't even imagine Lamar with the receivers down in Miami. That would be, I would hate it because I hate the Dolphins. Now, I don't really actually hate. I have nothing really against the Dolphins. It's more Dolphins fans that are annoying. As a team, I actually kind of dig the Dolphins swagger. I kind of think they're fun to watch. But again. They're one of the. I have no actual objection opinion of them. Their fans are just fucking delusional. Every single one of them are crazy. Yeah, dude. They're just kind of they are a very cool team. I'll give them their credit. They got a fucking flair to them, and it's a very fun flair. I think it's good for the NFL. Teams like the Dolphins, but I don't think Tua is the right quarterback. Unfortunately, I don't think his hip is allowing him to throw the way. But again, he's good. Is he good enough to potentially be a quarterback that could win games like big games? We'll find out. It's a big year for him. It's year 3. This is the year you're supposed to show it. Yeah, I like watching certain players. I actually like the thing with Mahomes. I really enjoy watching Mahomes play football, and everyone's like, Rob hates Patrick Mahomes. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just I'm critical about everyone's play except Tom Brady's. If you haven't noticed, there's a very consistent theme on this channel. I don't criticize Patriots quarterbacks, and I don't criticize Tom Brady. They literally can do no wrong. I will make every excuse for Mac Jones in the book, and you will never see a more delusional fucking defender of. Other than that, I'm very critical of every quarterback play. It's just, I have like this weird thing where I'm like, nah, it's not that good. There's like problems with the hitch. He's not reading defenses. And then everybody was stunned when I was talking all that shit that year that he won the MVP, where I'm like, this dude can't even read defenses and he's doing this. And everyone's like, Rob hates him. It's like, how is that even a negative comment? It's literally just me going, oh yeah, he can't read a defense. And then at the end of the year, he's like, yeah, I can't really read defenses. It's something I struggle with. And everyone's kind of like, everyone that was watching, I was like, well, that's awkward. You know how fucking vindicated I felt? You know how much legitimacy that gave me? I was like, see, I knew I was reading that right. Not even hatred. It should be kind of like, what's he reading? He's just throwing the, he's just got a really, it's an incredible arm talent. That's the thing with Mahomes, because when you can make like fucking 35, like when I seen him throw the ball in that Super Bowl, like 35, 40 yards, and like it should have been caught by Tyreek Hill for a touchdown when he was sideways in the air. I was like, oh, okay, his arm is literally like, this might be the greatest arm in the history of the NFL. It literally took, I have to see throw something like that. Like this dude was sideways in the air and he somehow threw that fucking ball out and it went, and it should have been caught. Tyreek just dropped a perfect pass and I went, yeah, that's the greatest arm talent the game's ever seen. I've never seen a motherfucker throw a ball sideways before and it be a perfect throw. And everybody, you have to remember, you know what throw you're talking, because Tyreek just dropped it. It was like, oh, what's up with the Butterfingers? Anyway, Browns versus the Jets. I don't know. Is there really anything to even talk about in this game? You know, you got Jacoby Brissett versus what is it, Joe Flacco? Yeah, that's a barn burner. I'm sure CBS is gonna put that on as their main game. What's up, Daniel? Uh-oh. I don't think that's actually Daniel. Is this not? Uh-oh. I have my finger on this motherfucker immediately. Did a false guy come in? No, it's Daniel. Why'd you say it like? Why'd you say that? Like that, Daniel? Yeah, I don't think that game's gonna last that long. That's gonna be one of the games that the NFL is like, just fucking keep the clock running on it. What do you mean? You know how we can make games go a little faster because no one's really gonna give a flying fuck about it? Which game is that? The Browns versus the Jets. No one's watching it. Are you sure? Yeah, like who's? Even the Jets and Browns fans are like, yeah, I might watch something else. You know, it's fucking. You know, we don't have to watch this game this week. Even if their fans are being honest anyway, that's what they would say. But if their fans are Jets fans are kind of liars, so you can't really trust them. I have no use for this football team, if you can't tell. I have the Browns winning by quite a bit. Brissett's going to mess them up. I don't even know if the Jets will score points. They're pretty bad. Like I thought, even with Zach Wilson, I was like, they'll at least be able to compete. He's like a decent prospect at quarterback. He'll be ruined by the Jets, but maybe who's even their coach? Don't they got a funny coach? Or do they actually got a good coach right now? Because they usually got funny head coaches. Like they're always usually like hilariously like, man, they just missed on hiring the right guy again. Oh yeah, it's Robert Saleh. Yeah, they do got a hilarious guy as a head coach. He's like a fucking uncool version of Dan Campbell. Which is a perfect transition to the next football game. Yeah, see how we're doing that? By the way, that's as much time as we needed to spend on the Browns versus the Jets. I don't think anyone in the world is picking the Jets in that game. And then we got the Lions versus the Commanders. America's favorite team, the Detroit Lions, I would say right now. Yeah, Amazon's got their hands in the NFL. Jeff Bezos is going to own the league soon. Yeah, I'm hoping the Lions win. I'm going to keep them on as my upset or as my pick. They're not really an upset pick. I just think they're probably just going to win this game. Next game is going to be very interesting to talk about. But this one's actually an interesting game too, because the Commanders look pretty solid defensively. In their first game, they're winning 28-22. And Carson Wentz, of course, was a top 5 quarterback, believe it or not, which is always the confusing thing with Carson Wentz, right? He always 90% of the time he plays very good. So if I told you he had like a 27-9 touchdown interception ratio, would you believe me? Last year, you would actually be like, I don't actually think that's right. He threw more picks. It's like he might have threw less picks. I think his bad play is just very it's like the when he turns the ball over, it's like the worst possible to somehow his turnovers are very bad. They just lead to immediate touchdowns. They're like pick sixes and shit. They're just weird fumbles that shouldn't happen. He fumbles as much as Daniel Jones, if not more. It's a well-kept secret. Yeah, exactly. But if he's on, he's literally he's as good as it goes. Talent-wise, he's as good as it comes. Again, if he calms down and plays inside of himself, and doesn't try to be the hero which is what he did last week, by the way. He didn't try to be the hero of the game, and he wound up throwing I think he threw a game-winning fucking touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin. I think that's how they won the game. Wasn't it a walk-off, basically? It was a last possession. It was when he doesn't try to actually be the hero, he plays very good football, but he has to have the right coach, and I think Ron Rivera is the right coach for it. Rivera's such a good head coach. Rivera could probably coach that out of somebody. Hero ball is something you can if the player wants to stop doing that, you can coach that out of a player if you're a good enough coach. Because again, when he's not trying to do too much and think he's got to be the hero of the game, because there were moments where he'd audible out of handing it to just Jonathan Taylor and just try and throw it, and then he'd throw a pick, and it'd be one of the only times he'd throw a pick for 3 weeks, and everyone would be like, "The fuck was that? We lost the game because of that." And it's then they just a bad. Just really weird. But again, the Lions, they're just unlucky. I don't know. They looked pretty good against the Eagles. I actually thought the Eagles were going to win by quite a dramatic bit more points, but the Lions stayed in there. They made it close, 38-35. I don't know. I thought the Lions I don't know how this game's gonna go. It could go. There could be a lot of points scored, or it could be a weird lack of offense game. See what the line says in what say Vegas. This is because I'm kind of stuck on this one. Lions have 1.5 point with the spread, a -120 money line, and over under is 48.5 in the game. All right. So Vegas likes the Lions by 1.5 right now, and that's pretty well betted up. So that means that's how people are feeling. The Lions are kind of just everyone's kind of we like the Lions by just a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm I feel like this game's gonna be 23-20, and that's gonna be the final of this game. I don't know who wins it. I like the Lions, so I'll go with them in this one. But you know what the sad part about the Commanders now is? They're not a bad football team, so you can't just be automatic loss and just move on from the Commanders. You have to kind of ponder it, and you're still kind of well, maybe I'll give it one more week for either one of these teams. Dude, the Lions are just beloved right now. I've never the Lions are just actually liked. It's everyone's this is interesting. After baseball today, I'm taking a break from my Astros. Watch my Texans tomorrow. My membership expired. Oh, you're good, Kev. There's no real reason to be a member on the channel. I appreciated when you were a member, but you know what I mean? Like, there's just not a whole lot that like I do for members. And I always feel bad. Well, I'm like, I just don't offer. I just don't do anything for it. If it ever became like a bigger part of the channel, I'd do something about it. But you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to exclude the people who can't afford to do membership. I'd feel bad about that. That would make me feel bad. See, like that's like I'd have this weird thing where I'd feel bad about like not doing anything for the people spending the money on the membership, but also feeling bad because I'm excluding people that can't afford membership. And it's like, God damn it. You never want to be. I don't like you know what I mean. So it's always a weird one. All right. So yeah, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see if the Lions. By the way, Jeff Okudah on what was it? I think he was in 19 plays. He was targeted like once. He had 0 catches against him, so they didn't even try against Jeff Okudah. So that's it. That means he's improved quite a bit. So if you're a Lions fan, you should be quite happy with the way that pick has developed actually and turning into a good corner, because it was weird. Lions fans like immediately thought that like a rookie should be like able to take on all pro elite wide receiver ones immediately. And they went, well, he's a bust. It's like, he was never bad. He did all right as a rookie against literally like fucking people like Devontae Adams. That was literally like, all right, your first assignment is Devontae Adams. Good luck, kid. And Patricia, because the way the Patriots ran their defense, he was like, you're out on an island, man. That's how we do things here. You take them one-on-one. Look at John Jones. He took Tyreek Hill one-on-one all game long. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like the way, but like, you don't want to probably do that with a rookie. I don't know what the fuck they did that with the rookie for. But now look at Okudah. He's actually really fucking solid, isn't he? You know what's interesting about the Detroit Lions? Everybody shits on Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, but like most of the like really good players on the team have come from that regime. Just think about that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Everyone said they built a bad football team, but like if you go look at Bob Quinn's draft hits, it's fucking insane how well he actually drafted the Lions. Like but like the new regime's only been there for 2 years. They haven't had a chance to really like do that much change, unless they did that much change. Culture-wise, they've changed it completely. The culture that Patricia and Quinn had in Detroit was fucking miserable. I don't know what the hell they were doing. But like they were they were actually putting together a very good football team. If you followed the piece by piece building that they put together, a lot of their really like competent starters right now are guys that Bob Quinn put on the team. Like the entire offensive line that everybody praises for the Lions, that's when healthy is very like one of the best. Every single one of them was a Bob Quinn, I think, except Penei Sewell, which was an obvious. It was him or Rashawn Slater. You know what I mean? And no offense to Brad Holmes, he probably maybe should have picked Rashawn Slater. Like, was it a bad pick? No, not necessarily, but like, Lions should whip Washington. They put up 38 against Philly. That's significantly. That's what I mean. The way the Lions played against the Phillies or the Eagles make me think that they're just an action, like they're a better team than what Washington's going to be, because like most people have Philadelphia as the clear division winner of the AFC or of the NFC East, and like they're going to be like a pretty serious football team due to the talent on the team. So the Lions keeping up in scoring and being like in a high scoring, high paced game with one of the better teams in the NFL, like excluding the quarter, like that's actually it's a very significant thing, and why you'd think, all right, the Commanders struggle beat the goddamn Jaguars. I think they literally needed a walk-off touchdown to beat them. It's like, all right, well, I literally think it was the Jaguars, wasn't it? Which transitions very well into this next game, which is my upset of the week. it's not. I don't even know if it counts as an upset because okay. So some of you guys are probably like you. Some of you guys may have never actually seen the Jaguars lose a home game to the Colts. If you started only watching football really hard since like 2014, 15, you've never seen the Jaguars lose a home game to the Colts. Like, it's just never happened. Isn't that fun? That's the craziest thing in the NFL, by the way. And it's one of the most under talked about like losing streaks. Nobody ever talks about it. I think it's like they only talk about it for like a second because it's like the most embarrassing thing that ever that exists with the team that the NFL media wants to be like an NFL like darling, which is the Colts. The NFL media loves the Colts. I don't know what it is about it. Dude, I think the Jaguars, if the Jaguars win one game, it'll be this one. Like, it's like a guaranteed win for them. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like a high percentage win chance. And it's like a long-standing thing, too. Even, like, Peyton Manning couldn't play the Jaguars well in Jacksonville. Jacksonville plays Indy very well at home. Very, like, dominating home record. Especially since the Jaguars have only existed for a little while. Detroit is playing with major league second string, plus defense is bad. Washington wins for you. Shit, Chase is okay. I mean, with all that going on, the Lions still competed with the Eagles, so. But all right. Yeah, so I don't know. The Colts literally tied the Texans. I've never seen like that's. I mean, it's not embarrassing to tie, but what's hilarious about that game is Steelers Nation called the tie. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen this man do. He literally predicted the tie last week. I know I've said this, but it's literally the craziest prediction I've ever seen somebody get right. He said 16-16. He was off by 4 points. It was fucking, it's wild. He called it. He's like, that's a tie game. And he got it right. Oh, they got hurt there was like a bunch of injuries at practice this week. Like the Bills, I think Gabe Davis got hurt at practice this week. And it's like, why are teams practicing so hard after the first game of the season? You should probably take it easy. Teams out there fucking killing themselves after game one. I'm like, all right, well, that works. Patriots can just luck their way into the Super Bowl appearance. Every AFC super team's getting hurt already. I'm like, all right, well, this was predictable. By the way, have you seen how banged up the Chargers are? We'll get to them, but I think like their entire offensive line is out. How bad is the Chargers situation? Like, how bad is it actually? Like, Justin Herbert's got like a cracked rib, I think. I'm pretty sure Corey Linsley's going to be out for a second. I think Austin Eckler's on the injury report now too. Like, everybody got hurt in that game. I'm telling you, the Chargers have no luck. It's crazy. And then there's the next game that also has there's a lot of like weird games right in a row in the schedule. And I think they did this on purpose where it's like you can just look at the game and go, oh shit, I already know how this game's going to go. Yeah. And that's what kind of leads into the Saints versus the Bucks, where it's like, oh shit, the Saints are playing the Bucks. Looks like the Bucks they're losing this game. I'm going with the Saints upset with the Bucks without some of the key players. Dude, the Saints didn't they beat the fucking Buccaneers last year with like Taysom Hill and some random ass dude at quarterback, and like literally they were like having random fucking receivers throw the ball around the whole game, and they won like 16-7 against the Bucks. It's like, what kind of fucking horseshit wizardry happened? Literally voodoo curse against the Bucks. It's one of my favorite like. They cannot beat the Saints in the regular season. No, dude, they're going to. It doesn't matter. It's the fucking cracked. It's like Tom Brady against the Bills. No, the Bucks are heavily favored in that game. No, Donnie, it's an upset if the Saints win. I want to show you guys this. No, okay, so people aren't that stupid. It's only 2.5. Bucks are the general favorite, I would say, in the game. I would I will say Brady probably lose. Dude, no, it's not even Brady's fault in the games. It's just literally Tampa Bay does not beat the Saints. The Saints are like, yeah, we don't lose to that fucking shit tier franchise. Once Brady's gone, they're back to being the Succaneers. We own this team. And they do. For some reason, the Saints just beat the fucking dog shit out of the Bucks. See, the thing, if you've seen Brady recently, I would agree with you. Brady's probably going to win MVP. And he's probably, if he actually gets divorced, I fear for the league. Because he's going to play like another year, and he'll probably throw for like 7,000 yards. And we're going to see some super demon come out where he's going to be like fucking super buff and like running through dudes. And I'm going to be like, god damn it. What is, he's clearly doing steroids at this point. And then he's going to get caught, and then I'm going to have to defend. But again, I'm already pro steroids in sports. I'm already on the stance about defending Barry Bonds. So I don't. It'd be the easiest thing in the world for me to defend Brady's using steroids. I'd be like, yeah, I don't give a shit about steroids. Have I ever? I don't think you should get long suspensions. I think it's way over dramatic about steroids. Especially the reason they should be frowned upon is because they're like really bad for your heart generally. Other than that, I don't really care when athletes do steroids. I'm like, yeah, who fucking cares? They all probably cheat anyway. It's just some of them don't ever get caught doing it. I think they have to at some point. I think there's very few naturally strong people like that. I'm like, I don't think you can. Yeah, some of them people's heads fucking grew like 2 sizes when they started playing. That's just interesting. Look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning clearly did steroids, by the way. Like, I'm gonna. Brady doesn't have like a weird head growth. His like cheeks get funny. I don't know if Brady did steroids, it was like fucking, it's like weird, like recovering like brain steroids, like beta blockers or some shit like that. Hey, what's up, Lewis? What's up, Rake? When I hear good things about a team, I rewrite over that in my initials in my notes. Good teams that got darker and darker. Jets initials now only get written down once. Lions and are dark. Colts, Jaguars identical. I don't know why I read that so badly. I don't know what I was. When I hear good things about a team, I rewrite over that team's initials in my notes. Good teams get darker and darker. Jets initials are only written down once. Lions are dark. Okay, now I get what you mean. Okay. Yeah, the Lions are probably one of the most enjoyed teams going forward right now. But yeah, the Bucks, I don't know. I'm doing good. Did the Tigers win today? I have no idea. I haven't followed the Tigers in a minute. I'm kind of protesting until they fire the hitting coach. If they don't fire the hitting coach, I'm very upset. Yeah, Giants and Panthers, kind of who cares game. There's not really much to discuss. I got the Panthers winning. I think the Giants had a fluke win. Panthers also kind of got like, they barely lost. They lost by 2 points to a very good Browns team. Like when I look, like the Panthers played a very good game against a loaded Browns roster. The only thing you could look at the Browns and go, wow, that's a weak spot, is Jacoby Brissett, and he didn't even play bad. Like if he plays like that until fucking Deshaun comes back, dude, the Browns could be like 6-7 wins, and then they get Deshaun Watson on a 6 or 7 win team. That dude. That's the Browns fans are like, Jacoby Brissett looked really good. It's like, oh no, the Browns could be legitimately one of the best teams in football. Because again, that roster is fucking loaded. They have $1 billion somehow. I think the Lions will do good, Andrew. I think the Lions can win that game. As long as they can if their defense has to play better than it did against Philly. But, we'll see. Yeah, the Giants-Panthers though, it really comes just down to if the Giants are fluky or not. Like if the same team that comes out that beat the Titans comes out, and like that's actually what the Titans or the Giants are, and Brian Daboll's actually just like a really good like you know what I mean? If Brian Daboll just had like a lot of the secret sauce and Daboll just is like really good, it's like, oh okay, well I was just wrong. I don't mind. But But again, I mean, the Giants, like, they looked better coached. Like, they 100% look like a sharper football team. And they have decent talent, so like it could be a good game. But I like the Panthers in this one. They played against a much more like fucking hardcore team. I mean, the Giants beat the Titans, but that's again kind of that feels like a fluke loss for the Titans. And the Titans regularly lose games where they should win. Like, the Titans are one of them teams that, like, what's up, Fat Tater Chip? It's just like, why'd the fucking Titans lose to the Jaguars? It's just like, why'd you guys do that? Why? You know, you missed the playoffs by like that's a game you'll look back on if the Titans missed the playoffs and be like, well, that's a game that fucked them. That's a game they should have beat the Giants. That should have been a gimme. The Titans do not win gimmies. Like, the Titans are like, yeah, easy game. If you fucking give them the best team in the NFL, they'll probably beat them. And they'll be down 8 starters. They'll be playing some like shit tier players they just signed like 2 days ago. He doesn't even know the plays. He's like reading a wristband, and they're up fucking 13 points at like immediately, and it's like, what the fuck's going on with the Titans? How are they playing so well? What even is this? With Joe Judge, Titans never win. Yeah, Titans are, yeah, they're like the weirdest, like, they just shit the bed whenever they're favored. They like have the biggest, like, well, if everyone thinks we're gonna win, we're gonna lose. It's just like, why are you gonna do that? What I feel like it. Dabo looks like a better coach than Judge. Yeah, that's Dabo's the reason they looked competent, though. I would say Dabo might be a really good head coach. I agree 100%. No, Dabo might be Dabo did fix Josh Allen. He's very undercredited in how much he helped bring along Josh Allen and helped develop the throwing abilities of Josh Allen. He was the first one to actually point out that the fucking dude had a throwing mechanic issues. Literally, that's like part of the reason he got hired. But sorry, I keep making a weird noise. I think my throat's all fucking. I think I need to drink. Talking too fast. I'm not going to get mad about a September football game. Hopefully the Patriots do well. Yeah, lots of good football tomorrow. So yeah, I got the Panthers. I don't know. It should be a decent game. I guess if you like either of those teams. Now we're on to the Patriots and the Steelers. Should be the game of the week. Mac Jones versus Mitch Trubisky. Probable AFC Championship matchup. I would say that's But yeah, the AFC title game. Yeah, we'll be streaming this game. The Lions or the Patriots and Steelers. The Lions and the Commanders are on at 1:00, and I was like really hoping both of these games would be on at like 1:00 and at 4:00, so I could stream both of them. What's up though, Daniel? How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, I like spaced out there. I don't know what the fuck happened. I do like the Patriots in this game. My major reasoning is I'm wondering how the Giant or the not the Giants. Why do I keep like looking at the fucking picture, and I keep seeing the Patriots, and then I like look over and I see the Giants, and I just like am not seeing the Steelers logo for some reason. I already said it's going to be an interesting dogfight of Watt. Yeah, it's the Watt gives us a decent advantage, or at least gives us a small break on defense anyway. It allows us to kind of like get around that like problem of our pass rush just hasn't really been the greatest. Okay, so, and then you do have the weird coaching advantage, where it's like Bill Belichick has a dominant record versus Mike Tomlin. They just own the Steelers. It's like a long-standing thing where the Patriots just kind of beat them. But one of the things about the Steelers is now they have Brian Flores, who is quite good against Bill Belichick, who understands how to play against the Patriots. That was one of the major reasons the Dolphins were pretty decent against the Patriots anyway. So he might have some influence in that game. Public really likes the Steelers. What's the line looking like? Yeah, I understand, dude. It's the Patriots offense that looks bad. The thing with the Patriots, oh, they're at -2.5 on FanDuel as the favorites. What's the money line? -142. FanDuel always seems like it's kind of got a better pulse of like, I don't know. They're like, I don't know. We like the Patriots. Like, why do you like the Patriots, FanDuel? Herb. Because it's like like the Patriots seem just like a team where they're like their defense looks really dialed in, and if they get any kind of offensive firepower, they usually kind of win. It's just like, well, we'll see. But again, a troubling statistic for Mac Jones that I'm developing and analyzing. I think he's 2-9 now. When a team scores more than 14 points against him. Troubling statistics, sure, but he's also a rookie, so I don't really put that on a rookie quarterback. We all know Steelers will stand with one leg until the end. Yeah, people say I'm not very critical, but I look up stats like that and know shit like that about quarterbacks. But it's like, why don't you ever talk about that? Because I'm not going to give anyone ammo against Mac Jones. Suck a dick. Learn your own criticisms. Learn how to fucking read certain things about like, statistics. Like, how do you even know to look up 14 points specifically? It's like, well, you should be able to win a game if you score more than 14 points. And it's like a track statistic. And Mac Jones is 2-9 in those games where the team scores more than 14 against him. And that's I don't really put that too high on Mac though. You know what I mean? Because it is like, well, I mean, he's a rookie. So it's like, well, can we really be like, well, it's his fault that the team's losing games against good teams. He's a rookie. Yeah, it's probably, if you're depending on a rookie to win games against fucking the best teams in the league, that's probably not a fucking good indication. The Bengals O-line did, the Bengals O-line gave up what, like fucking, was it 9 sacks again? And yeah, I'm very curious to see how Mitch Trubisky performs against Bill Belichick. And a defense that looked really, really good against the Dolphins. And I don't really trust Mitch Trubisky's play. So that's why it's literally like, I have to look at the way this game breaks down, right? So I look at the coaching. I lean Patriots because it's like, well, they have Mike Tomlin versus Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick kind of wins that one. You do have Brian Flores with some slight influence probably in the game plan, but probably not enough to make it where they can actually maybe pull off the win. I also think that right now with Watt being out, that kind of like interrupts their defense right away. Like only for like I think the Steelers will be fine on defense, but I think the first week or two without Watt, they'll have like a step missing. Like they're just going to feel a little off. So I think that like is significant only for a week or two for Steelers fans. And unfortunately, it's like you're playing the team that it's just brutal that you have to play against them. And I just really have no idea how Mitch is going to play against the Patriots defense. If the Patriots offense actually can like muster some fucking life, though, they should probably win. Really, 82, Jesus. Yeah, I seen a lot of the expert picks people also went with them too. They need to well, Tua doesn't really throw the ball deep enough for there to be intercept. Oh shit. Tua unfortunately can't throw the ball deep enough or farther enough to get interceptions, so. And I'll be fair to Tua, like he doesn't have a strong arm. He is actually he's very accurate as a passer. He generally won't put the ball in an interceptable spot. Like it's like maddening how good he is with that. Like he's like he threw like 12 last year, which isn't really that bad. And that's mainly just because he doesn't have a strong arm. Like it's just, if his arm was stronger, he'd be a literal monster. He was, before he got injured at Bama, I literally thought he was like gonna be like a really good NFL. I was like, oh fuck, dude. The only problem is he's left-handed. I used to be a Tua. I used to be like Tua non people. Like, oh man, you guys got to watch out. He's going to be the first good Bama quarterback. I just thought he was like, I just like he's like there's so many good things about Tua where it's like, man, he's like such a good leader of a team. Like the team buys into the guy. Like he's like you can tell he like can command the locker room and shit. He's got all of the like he's like intangibles. Every single fucking box you can check off for him. Like he's a hardworking dude. He wants to be a good quarterback. He's literally doing like medical science to see how he can make his hips stronger. Like this dude is working so like, and he's I feel for the guy because it's like, man, you got to feel for the guy because it's like the reason his arm can't like get stronger is because of like the hip thing. And you know what's the only reason he can still play football is because like the difference between his injury and Bo's injury is like very slight. Like it's sort of like that different, and Tua couldn't never play again. So I mean, again, I think that's what ended James White's career. The same injury that Tua had. Like it's literally normally it's a devastating injury what Tua had happened to him. It's crazy he's able to play, and I'm always very nervous for him because again, he's a very accurate quarterback, but the arm strength is he'd be dead or in jail. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done so good with a lot of money. Last season the Patriots started 2-4. They might have started 0-2 with the Cam year too. I don't know. We haven't been good the last 2 years. We haven't been like perfect. I think everyone thinks we started off way better than we were like 2-4 last year to start off the season. We were really bad. Patriots are usually like not good in September. We've started 0-3, 1-4, 1-3 is a very common season start for the Patriots. It's a very odd September thing. I personally think Bill Belichick does it in rebellion because they took away a preseason game. Oh yeah, dude, Tua would be an absolute monster in the NFL without that hip because he used to be able to dial up some monster throws to his receivers at Bama. Like you have to look at his throws at Alabama and then go look at his throws now in the NFL, and you'll immediately see like, oh, he's literally his arm is weaker when he was a younger, smaller kid. Like his arm was stronger when he was a like tinier little guy from Hawaii that like he's throwing fucking moonshots and these are like bombs to the. I don't know if it's because they're Alabama receivers and it's like, well, there's no one really that can cover them. All the good players are there. But it's also like these were some fucking just absolute moonshot. Like Mac Jones would come in games because like and play like the entire second half because Alabama would be up like fucking 49 points with Tua. It was crazy. But again, Tua was robbed of his arm capabilities because again, in order to throw like that, you have to have your hips. It's a tragic story, really, actually. It's cool that he's able to still muster up an ability to kind of be able to play because the accuracy, you know, he literally completes passes at, well, like 68%. It's pretty crazy. Reminds me a lot of Kellen Moore. But Kellen Moore just never could stay healthy. No, not Kellen Moore. Chad Pennington. That's what it is. I was like, it's a really weird white guy name that I couldn't remember the name of. I was like, it's either Kellen Moore or fucking Paddington Chadwick. I actually thought his name was like Paddington Chadwick. Tua does because he's fucking 6 foot tall. Like guys who aren't like who can't just use their fucking natural lanky big ass arm, they have to fucking like. You gotta like Tua doesn't have like a long arm. Like the reason I could throw far is because I understand. Like look, I got this bit. Look how long my arms are. I got these fucking long ass donkey arms where I don't know why they're so long. Like my arms are like my wingspan is like 6'3". It's like I have significantly longer arms than I do height, and I don't know why that is. I'm like a Cro-Magnon idiot, but it's a very funny thing, and it's very awkward for me to find shirts that fit right. Because I have to wear larges, but they don't fit my midsection very good because I'm very big across these fucking. I got these, like my head, like when I shoot basketballs, it's just, like you can tell when somebody's got weird little arms by the way they have to shoot a basketball. Because like I think one of the best ways you can shoot a basketball is like directly over your head, because it's like it'll be like the best way for you to look. And I know it's bad form, but like. When I shoot like that, I'm fucking pretty accurate with the shooting. So, and I'm like, I've always attributed to the fact that I just have these just naturally big ass arms. Yeah, I'm not an NBA player, so I don't give a shit. I study throwing mechanics, and the ball going over where the ball being thrown from where I'm looking is always going to be better because it's gonna go where I'm looking if I shoot it right. It should go. It's shooting a ball. After dropping a ball, what does banging on your helmet with a fist do? Gets the frustration out. Same thing. These are emotional guys. These are guys that punch the wall when they get mad. Like a lot of these football players are like, guys who get really emotional and like fucking punch locker room shit and like break shit when they get angry and like have like fucked up scuffed ass cell phones all the time. Like just dude, the NFL is full of probably like some of the craziest emotional people. Yeah, dude, they're just fucking getting they're getting the mad out, so they're just punching something hard. It does absolutely nothing except probably break their hand almost, and they probably go, "God damn it, that was stupid." Does nothing. It gets the anger out for them, I guess. It's so they don't punch a player. Or if they do punch him, at least they just punched him in the helmet. It's not that big a deal. No one really gives a shit. Though it's a $10,000 fine generally. Who cares? It was just a punch. You notice in the NFL, like fighting is low key not like the most frowned upon thing. Like you get thrown out of the game usually if you're caught throwing a punch, but like it's like it's like a $10,000 fine. It's not even like that. It's fucking not that dramatic. And you don't usually even get suspended. You just get kicked out of the game you're in because they're like, all right, you're fucking way too fired up, dude. You're fighting people and shit. Yeah, though, yeah. In the NFL, a lot of those guys are, they're, if the NFL didn't exist, they'd just be fucking. I don't know what they would do. Some of them guys, I'm like, man, they'd just be criminals, probably, right? Like the Bosa brothers would just be Italian mobsters and shit, fucking beating up small people for their fucking Italian. I think Italian. Bosa sounds Italian. They might even still be in the Italian mob. I don't really know what they do. I don't know what half these guys would do. Like they're just huge human. Like they don't. Like they're so freakishly like built. I don't know what they'd do. Like if there was no NFL, like what would half of these fucking monsters be doing with their time? Like some of these guys are like 5-generation deep football players. Like the Hawk family, like his kids are going to be in the NFL at some point, and that's like the fourth, like one of them. We'll probably see like what's the other really good linebacker family that played in Green Bay? What's up, Ven? Matthews, Clay Matthews. Like there's like 4 generations of Matthews. I think he's got a kid that's coming up. It's like there's like actual like I don't know. I like what would some of these people's what are they gonna do when the league goes away? If the NFL goes away, you're gonna have like dudes who just are like, I don't know what to do with myself because my entire bloodline has been in the NFL for 5-6 years. Oh, Twitch drama more is it more XQC breakup stuff? I heard today for the first time punch means in Slavic means five in Slavic, and a punch drunk is supposed to have. Oh, that's kind of cool. The word punch means five in Slavic. Slavs are weird. They're all strong though. They're all like weirdly strong, like Kazmat. Like that. Is that guy Chechnyan? I don't really watch the UFC. But I heard about this Chechnyan. I'm pretty sure he's Chechnyan, right? Kazmat. He's apparently supposed to be a fucking. Damn. Stoker apparently was asking close to 200K from streamers, chatters, mods to help. Oh, I heard about that. I heard about that crazy situation. Yeah, like I guess they'd probably like, you know, I've often made like statements. I think a lot of like if war was still like if conquer and war was still more prevalent, we probably wouldn't have football. And I think a lot of the guys that we got playing football would probably just be soldiers and like generals, especially like there's a lot of like weird war aspects in football. It feels like I don't even know if that's a profound thing to say, but it does feel like if there was more war, like if the world was more of like a warring place and more conquering was done, I don't know if we would see like guys like in like they like it doesn't seem like they would be doing football. But since like football exists, they don't have to go war. They can like they can get it out there. And I also think like sports are actually like football specifically is a pretty good way to. I think if there was more internet, like I think sports is a good way to but again, sports has also caused a lot of big problems internationally, especially in that game soccer. Them Europeans cannot handle themselves with sports. We think Americans like getting in a fist fight is a little unruly at a game. Them motherfuckers will kill people at a soccer game. I feel like they would any game is more like war than peace. Yeah, I would say football is 100% war more than peace. I feel like they'd always be would do football because it's like, but I'd much rather have CTE or die in war due to my eyes getting blown out. Yeah, I mean they're crazy. Exactly, like these guys are the guys that are like CTE or possibly. What other options do I got? 6'8". I run a 4.3. Like if you just have those like what are you supposed to do? Like you're 6'4", you're fucking 250 naturally. Like it's not even fair. And you're running at like fucking 4.3. And it's just like, well, that's fucking just how it kind of goes. You know, like there's so much there's so limited things like you have these weird like it's like you gotta go you're gonna go be an athlete. I guess you're just blessed. Congratulations, fucking piece of shit. But like if there wasn't sports, like what are you gonna do? Like what would LeBron James be doing if there wasn't sports? His big ass is almost too big to do normal people things. Have you seen him drive a car? It looks hilarious. Remember the guy in The Simpsons where the guy is like he's that big ass dude and he's in that little ass car. He's like, "Are you making fun of the way I drive my automobile? It's the only one I can afford." He's just all like the stupidest character ever. Dude, Europe literally they'll execute a player midfield and the game will just keep going. And they'll like drag the body up through the stands and throw it out the fucking top of the stadium and be like, "Sayonara, fucker." And the crowd will cheer as the body fucking falls from the top of the stadium. And they'll go, "Well, we probably shouldn't have did that one, eh?" And then they'll be like, "Americans are uncivilized. They have guns. We just ripped him apart with our bare hands." Well, a gun probably would have prevented that guy from dying. If he'd have flashed a pistol, no one would have touched him. And that's why America wins in a lot of situations, because we got a lot smarter people, and we don't kill each other over sport. Never mind. Dodgers fans are fucking crazy. And I'm pretty sure there was a recent situation where Raiders fans actually killed some people. In a fight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Eagles fans, Bills fans. Bills fans literally throw people through tables. The fans, I don't know what are worse. Yeah, American fans are fucking worse. They get aggressive with the players and shit. They're like, the Bills Mafia is pretty funny. They're pretty good. They're fucking going through tables and shit. Yeah, and you're like, are those pre-broken tables? But they don't ever look pre-broken, and like the guys go through the tables really hard, and you're like, that guy's hurt. Is there a single doctor in Buffalo? The spine place, like the back doctor guy, that motherfucker, the chiropractor, during the regular season for the Bills is just making so much money. He's like, oh, it's my favorite time of year. I don't even watch football. But these dumb motherfuckers come in here by the truckload once the season starts. Why? Well, they all start throwing each other through pre-broken tables. They start throwing each other through tables, and they don't pre-break them like they do in pro wrestling, so no one gets actually hurt from it. Yeah, that's like Buffalo fans are crazy. Like that's the worst part about, like, they don't pre-break the tables, so like at least like it's not like fucking actually hurting the people, and it's just kind of like a loud bang when you re-break it. Like the WWE has this shit so figured out that I don't even think they like get hurt when they go through a table. It's just like, oh, we went through a table. It's just like, how does it look unpainful to go through a table? Like they'll be busting dudes through announcer tables, and like they'll get up and you'll be like, I actually believe he's not even that hurt from that. And he just exploded an announcer table somehow that looked like it was made of solid steel. All right. Yeah, anyway, let's go back to that was my analysis of the Falcons and Rams game. So I have the Rams winning. Anyway, next game. Rams or Seahawks versus the 49ers. You know what's going to happen though? The Falcons are going to win this fucking game. And it's going to be the game where we look back on every year this happens, where we look at a game and just go, yeah, fuck that one, and just move on really, really fast from it. And I just make a really funny cut like that. Like I just kind of burn them. I'm like, ah. And then like every year, like clockwork, it happened to me last year. I would fucking roast a game and be like, others. The Bills were a common recipient of this happening, by the way. The Bills would like lose to the Jaguars, and it'd be like, we'd literally mock the game as like a joke. Like, well, I guess the Bills are going to win by 80 fucking points. You know what I mean? Because like all logic said, yeah, why would anyone pick why did the Jaguars win that game? That might be one of the greatest questions in the NFL I've ever seen, is how the fuck the Jaguars won that game against the Bills. Anyway, 49ers versus Seahawks. I don't really know who to take in this one. And it's mainly on the fact that with the Seahawks. By the way, I have the Rams winning. I'm not picking the Falcons over them. I don't think the Rams will lose twice in a row. Especially not to like the fucking Falcons. Anyway, but like with the Seahawks, I don't know if the part of the reason why they won that game was due to the fact that they know Russell Wilson better than anybody in the NFL. They have basically the same coaching staff. All the guys are all there. It's like the same dudes. The players all know Russell Wilson's tendencies. There's videos now of like players that were on the sideline like pointing out what Russell was doing. Like, so that way, like the Seattle defenders had an understanding of how to like approach Russell's like basic like approach to the game. Lockett, yeah, the Lockett video. It was like, see, when I was making that statement, like 3 days ago, I didn't watch the game. I just had basically looked at the stats and went, oh, dude, you know what? I didn't even think of, and I should have. Like I knew I should, like I feel like I like an idiot for missing it. It was like, dude. They know like they drafted and developed Russell Wilson. They know they know like what his cadences are gonna sound like if he's actually gonna hike it or not. He probably couldn't draw them dudes off sides once. The Seahawks were like, dude, what are you doing? You know, we know what your fucking like actual fucking like rhythmic voice sounds like. Oh yeah, that's right. It's like, oh yeah, Russell, what are you gonna do? And it's like the first game with a new team versus old team at his old stadium. There was just like no shot that the Seahawks were actually gonna lose. Like, it's one of them things where I look back on and like I kind of am pissed off I didn't pick right. Like, I put no weight. I just thought Seattle was like, well, Seattle's just a bad team. Like, and they didn't play good. Like, if like the Broncos could have scored 18 points, they'd have won the game. Like, that's the like 2 more points and they win that game. So it's not like they got like blown out or anything. It was just like a weird misfire by the Broncos. So I'm not really sure how good the Seahawks are. And the 49ers, old lap dance Lance. Dude, coolest quarterback room in the NFL right now, right? You got lap dance Lance. Greatest video, by the way. Hilarious. If Jimmy G and him as your quarterbacks has got to be one of the fucking most annoying things ever to be a fucking quarterback coach. Like, wow, I have a guy who dates porn stars and a fucking guy who's throwing money at strippers. This is a hilarious quarterback room. Jimmy and fucking Trey are just like, I didn't know this is what you were into. What the fuck? Jimmy G's all bummed out. Like, dude, we could have been best friends by now. Like, we like the same kind of shit. Why didn't you tell me this is what you were like? I would have came with you. I would have been in the video with you, Trey. And Trey's like, oh, I thought you'd be mad. Like, he pulls him aside. He's like, listen, I understand. And Jimmy's like, no one's really caring about the video. That's kind of funny. Why didn't you invite me? You know I'm called porn star, Jimmy? The fuck kind of... Like, that's actually being a bad team. That's the thing I'm more concerned about with Trey Lance is Jimmy G wasn't there. Yeah, that's the thing that, like, that's probably more the problem. Like, that's the thing that's troublesome is, like, man, that's a weird relationship. That's got to be a weird tension where they're not, where you know those two guys have the same interests. And, like, clearly, they're, like, they should be getting along. But, like, it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the 49ers. But I do believe Shanahan has a very good record against the Seattle Seahawks. I think it always goes like Seattle loses to the 49ers. The AFC West, the NFC West, sorry, has a lot of weird games where it's like it always goes this way. And it's like, why is this so like specific? And I can't remember how it goes because I don't watch enough of the games, but it's like almost always exactly the way I described it. Like, it's like this team always beats this team at home. It's like even if they're good, yeah, it doesn't matter. It literally is. And it's like high percentage. Yeah, it's like one of the great, like, if you don't really follow it, you wouldn't believe it, but it's like 14-1 and then like the reverse of the record will be like, but then the other team is like 13-2 against them at home themselves. It's like, what the fuck is this? And like, they're all like that. Like, there's like weird games where it's just like very specific situations. They just don't win. And it usually plays out almost exactly the way, like, it'll be like a miracle win for the other team and shit. Yeah, I think the 49ers will win this game. As long as they're the team that's favored to win. Not like you know what I mean? As long as they're the team that wins usually in the series, they'll win this game. It's like fucking clockwork with these guys. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about with Trey Lance, you know how they lost. Then he was seen at a strip club throwing money on women. It was a hilarious look. It was like Urban Meyer, after it just looks bad when guys are doing that. Some people, some 49ers fans think it just shows that he's got the dog in him. But I think I'm like, I don't know. I didn't see any of his teammates there with him. Seems like he's not really bonding with the team very well. If I'd have seen like porn star Jimmy up in there with him and a couple of the other guys that have been like, oh, that's a good team bonding experience. That's fine. It's only a problem because some asshole leaked it out. Really the issue there. Anyway, so yeah, I got the 49ers. Their quarterback situation is just way cooler, so we'll go with them. Like, if you think Geno Smith and fucking Drew Lock are cooler quarterbacks than Jimmy G or Trey Lance, then you're just a fucking lame. Yeah, the next game has no interest. It's a very low interest game for me. That's why I'm kind of skipping around it. No Dak means no explosive offenses will be displayed to show. The Bengals will have to win this game. I think they will not. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. It's another one of them games. Okay, here we go. I was waiting for it. So it's Pete Carroll owns Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. Sean McVay owns Pete Carroll, and Cliff Kingsbury owns. Okay, so fuck, the Seahawks will probably win tomorrow. Damn it. Nah, fuck that. I'm Seattle's got way too bad of a quarterback situation. Kyle Shanahan will finally beat him. I got the Bengals winning. I don't even know what the hell Cooper Rush and Will Grier or what they're throwing out there for quarterbacks is on the depth chart. And it's like, well, let's go Cooper Rush. I went to college with him. We were undergrads at the same time. He literally had some of the best years of CMU's football since Dan Lefevre was here. So I don't want to say anything bad about Cooper Rush. So we're just not going to talk about this game. I just don't. I have a lot of good memories because of Cooper Rush in football games. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to be like, oh, fuck that guy. Because I don't feel that way. I like Cooper Rush. I hope he steals the job. I'm not going to lie. Like, he just plays better. In my head, he does that. In my head, Cooper Rush wins the Super Bowl. And then I'm like, yeah, CMU looks really good now. We're a Super Bowl producing factory. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the closest we'll get to Super Bowl greatness was Eric Fisher, because I think he got a Super Bowl ring technically from that Chiefs season. So technically, I think he is a Super Bowl champion. We are a Super Bowl producing champion school. No big deal. And TJ Watt or JJ Watt went to CMU first. And Antonio Brown actually went to CMU like for the whole time. Everyone always talks about how good Dan Lefevre was, but like you're like, why was he so good? And then you look up, it was like, oh, he was throwing to Antonio Brown, who was just fucking just destroying teams in the MAC. Like there was literally just no competition. And then they'd go play like Michigan State and upset them because nobody knew who Antonio Brown was for some reason. And like everybody was always talking about Dan Lefevre back in the day, but it was like, but then I looked into it. I'm like, why is there so much distance with Antonio Brown? Like, why the school really just doesn't really, you know how much shit I would be like, look at who we produced. Isn't that fucking cool? And they'd be like, because like before he went crazy, I have no idea why CMU didn't like utilize the fact that AB didn't even hide the fact that he went to Central Michigan. Like he didn't even like hide it. It wasn't even like how Randy Moss would be like, I went to this high school, and wouldn't say that he, eventually he would admit to that he went to Marshall. But it took Randy Moss quite a while to admit where he went to college at, in those like player interviews. A lot of players are like, they don't want to say where they went to college because they had to go to a JUCO because they went to fucking prison when they were in high school because they made a dumbass mistake. So they're like, I had to go to JUCO. Someone's like North Cal JUCO, and it's like, oh, well, at least they're in the NFL now. They got past, or they just something weird happens in their life, and they didn't get scouted. They just got missed out on. I don't know. Anyway, just do a quick recap like Ben asked for real quick. So quick recap. So I have the Ravens beating the Dolphins. I just kind of think that the Ravens right now played a little bit better. I was more impressed with what they did. With the Dolphins, I think they just got lucky that the Patriots offense was completely broken. Like, it's one of the things where, like, if the Dolphins would have faced a team last week with a competent offense, they'd have lost pretty bad. They should have scored more points with the amount of turnovers that they were able to force, and they only scored 20. You know what I mean? It's one of them things where it's like I don't think I'm being too dramatic with the Dolphins to say they should have scored more against the Patriots. Very troubling. So I kind of went with, and the Ravens just kind of beat the shit right out of the Jets, which is what they look like they're supposed to. So I'm just kind of liking the Ravens more right now. Plus the Dolphins don't play well usually. I don't know. They play well against the Patriots to open the season, and then they don't usually play well again for a couple weeks. So and then I got the Browns over the Jets. It's not really much of a game. In the Lions and Commanders, I like the Lions kind of to win this game. I like the way that they played against the Eagles, despite the loss. They played against like a team that has a lot of people who blah. I'm gonna go get a drink, dude. My mouth is really dry, so I make weird noises. Ohio State has 76 points. The fuck? Why are they scoring points like that? Like, I seen Michigan scored like I understand beating up on a team, but it's like you're playing Toledo. Why would they score 77 points? Like, what on earth compelled them to score 11 touchdowns? What's the point of doing that? Wait, what happened with Sean Payton? What's up, Shlomo? I was going, sorry for the loss today. Oh, what do you mean, the loss? Oh, Chicago. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched baseball in a minute. No, what happened with Sean Payton? But anyway, I have the Lions winning. And then I have the Jaguars upsetting the Colts, which is kind of one of the things where it's just because the Jaguars haven't lost a home game to the Colts since 2014. I have the Saints beating the Buccaneers because similar situation where the Saints just kind of always beat the Bucs. It doesn't matter what the situation is. If it was a playoff game, I would pick the Bucs to win because it seems like the thing reverses in the playoffs. It's hilarious because the Saints are also an unlucky team, but like they always win in the regular season against them. So he has a list of all the teams where the QB will be benched. Damn, Miami's one. Who else does he think is getting benched? Did he say Mac? Or does he like Mac Jones? If he likes Mac Jones, I'm gonna say it. I've been saying that I think the next Drew Brees might be Mac Jones, but we'll see. Damn, they both said Tua. They're gonna think Tua's gonna get benched this year. Oh, they're probably not wrong. Oh, weird. Mac's not on that list, huh? Crazy. Oh, guys, that's weird. That's because, like, football minds actually look at Mac Jones and go, if he develops right, he's literally going to be really good. Sean Payton was on Colin Cowherd. Oh, that's hilarious. I might have to watch that. Colin Cowherd went crazy for a while. I think, wasn't his daughter dating Trey Lance, which is hilarious. And if you don't know, Colin Cowherd's daughter is like a literal 10 out of 10. Fucking poor Colin. his daughter dates pro athletes, and everybody makes fun of him for it. Like, damn. You know what's funny? Both him and his daughter are obsessed with like NFL players, and but in just probably in the same way, but she can just express her, her feelings in a little bit more of a healthy, I guess, way, I think, than her dad is able to. Like father, like daughter, I guess. He fucks the athletes, and he verbally fucks them, and then she actually fucks them. It's quite the dynamic. It would have been hilarious if Baker waited. Like, it would have been creepy, but I mean, it would have been hilarious now if Baker fucked his daughter. Colin is such an a crisis hater on us. Yeah, Colin switches pretty quick. Why do people really hate Baker Mayfield? Yeah, he's not a Trump. What was that? Like Colin Cowherd had like the weirdest obsession for a minute, where he would like break down quarterbacks, and he'd be like, "Look at this quarterback. He has like a good, stocky trunk build." It was like weird. He would like be like getting weird about like there's like weird physiques of like players and shit. He'd be like he's a East Coast with like blue blood, and like he's like bringing up the most random things that like have no impact on the game of football. And it's like, that's weird. He really liked Sam Darnold because he had a tree trunk body or whatever the fuck that was. But he's also hilarious. Like, there's a specific talent to a guy like Colin who can, with a straight face, tell you that a guy's going to be a good quarterback because he's got a tree trunk midsection. Dude, that would have been an unfair transition. I'd have been like, God damn it. Like, yeah, Skip just lies, but see, Skip is a master of just making shit up. Like, he just made up shit about a fucking Troy Aikman, which is how he got kind of famous, because he was like, my sister's cousin or something told me that she's seen Troy Aikman at a gay bar, and like, literally, I think that's like he wrote that in a book, and it's like. Like Skip just lies about weird shit and just says random and he's able to look at a stat and like a very set of specific narratives. Him and Colin Cowherd do this very well. Stephen A. Smith as well. They're able to craft very specific narratives from very cherry picked stats. It's a very good skill, and it's a very specific skill. A lot of some of those trolls on the internet, like Barry McCocken, have the like same ability to do that, where they can craft a narrative around like statistics to like they can cherry pick like 5-6 bad games and build up a really bad stat log of a player using very weird statistics and be like, look at how bad this is. And it's just like, God damn it. Yeah, Skip is very consistent. his views are apparently like people. I think people authentically like Skip Bayless because it's one of them things where it's like, yeah, he's kind of an annoying, grating personality, but he's been this way for like 50 years now. He is like 70 years. No one really like he's like 70 years old and he still does this. It's like it goes from like a weird level of like, wow, this is one of the most consistent people to ever to like. He hasn't really developed a much since he was 20, which is not very good, but you know. Yeah, QBR. Oh god, he was making shit about Mac Jones playing in Florida in the offseason and why that's an attack on Brady. I like watching Skip's podcast. Sometimes it gets awkward because he like stares into the camera and does like awkward facial stuff. Like Skip genuinely thinks he's a very good looking dude because the way he stares at cameras and like, because he knows he can see. I know he can see himself right in reflections because like I could stream too. I see myself. I look away from my. I don't like looking at. I'm like, oh, look at. But like Skip will like. let me get a good Skip Bayless picture. There's no shortage of hilarious Skip Bayless pictures. Jordan. Hold on. I think there's a genuine authenticity to this guy where it's like, I don't know how you could genuinely be like, I hate Skip Bayless. Oh, somebody. There's like these are real, by the way. Some of them are edited, but like the unedited ones are just as funny as the. You gotta understand. Like, hold on, let me move myself out of the way because you gotta be able to see the shoes. The shoes are the most important part. You gotta remember, this is a near 70-year-old man doing this. One of his best friends is Lil Wayne. Dude, these photos are like some of the greatest things. Like it's so fucking like, but it's like it makes you go, this is a very hilarious. Like he has to know. Like he has to know these are the like funniest pictures. Even if he doesn't, it makes it even better because there is zero self-awareness about about the whole thing. Like if it's like I don't know what this is with Skip Bayless. It's so fucking absurd, dude. Like he fully believes. Like is it like does he play into this shit? Well, like look at this one. Look at this one. What is he doing? Why is he doing? Look at the way the dude's standing, dude. Like, there's no reason for him to be posing like this. Like if he's if he's standing like that on purpose. Look at him, dude. The diamond shoes. Hold on. Oh shit. Wait, where's the diamond? Put it in the Discord. I'll take any Skip Bayless picture. Dude, they're always hilarious. Like he like is the king of just taking like. Oh man. Let's just skip Bayless pictures. Hold on. Now I'm stuck in a fucking. Now that because there's funnier ones when. Oh yeah, there's way funnier. Like. What? He posted this. Dude, this guy. I'm telling you, he thinks he's like the. It's either one of the greatest fucking like 50-year performances in history. Because I don't think this guy's any different from when he started doing the stick. Oh no. Oh yeah, hold on. I can't even talk, dude. There's just so many good ones. Oh, come on, open. Bro, I hate when this does this. It doesn't want to like. Fuck. Damn it. All right. Where's? I'll just look for Skip Bayless stairs. I found it. Hold on. Oh, damn it, I fucked up. I'm laughing too hard about some of the dumb shit I'm seeing in these pictures, dude. And just look at that. I tried copying the Reddit link. It just was like it just kept giving me a download link. I don't know what it was doing. Look at this man. Again, if he's not like immediately self-aware about like the goofiness of this character, then this is one of the most consistent 50-year runs of. And if it's a character, like he's put on one of the greatest, most hilarious acts of all times, in my opinion. He's flexing hard as fuck in that picture, by the way. And by the way, he looks like a ghoul whenever you see him in pictures. Like whenever they get him in an actual picture, it's never a good look. Like they never catch it. I gotta go blow my nose now. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. This just fucking got me fucked up. Oh yeah, his solo podcast is hilarious. He goes on some fucking wild tangents on there. But it's always like the shit you always hear about, so it's never like super newsworthy because it's like, oh, we already kind of know that opinion for Skip. All right, let's get the rest of these games banged out. That weird segment of the stream kind of just killed the stream. I don't know why people would leave during that. That might have been one of the funniest moments of the stream in a really long time. At least I just find Skip Bayless pictures to be hilarious. As you can tell, I laugh very hard every single time I start looking at them. Like there's like this weird effect they have on me where the more I look at them, the funnier they start to get. I start like noticing weirder and weirder shit about them. Like he's like very aggressively like postured and shit. And it's like, why is he standing like that? All right. Anyway. All right. Let me move myself back over and out of the way. All right. That was my analysis for the Broncos and Texans game. We'll just call that the Broncos Texans analysis because that game's gonna. Actually, I don't know how that game's gonna go. I might actually have to. I haven't really thought about that one. I just assume Broncos win. But I don't think the Texans are even that bad of a team. I'm surprised they were able to tie with the Colts. Yeah, Skip Bayless has the most hilarious. Yeah, I mean, He also made fun of Dak Prescott for crying when his brother died or took his own life. Skip Bayless talks so much crazy shit about Dak Prescott crying. The NFL pretends to care about mental health now because they're like, we can't be associated with what Skip Bayless was doing on that fucking day. Like that was a bad moment for Skip. I don't know what was going through his head where he thought he was going to look good in that moment. He's like, he shouldn't have cried when his brother died. It's like his brother, like, what the fuck, Skip? That's weakness. I was like, Skip. It's like, are you an only child? Like, don't you have a brother? Yeah, he does. Yeah, Cheeto, exactly. He's got like a brother. It's like, Skip, how would you? Do you not know what empathy is, Skip? Like, I feel like Ernestine had to probably sit him down, or Shannon had to sit him down in between commercial breaks and be like, dude, you probably shouldn't have said all that shit about Dak being weak for like his brother died. How would you feel if your brother died? Oh, I'd be devastated. I wouldn't cry though. I'm not a weak bitch. Skip Bayless stuck by it though. He didn't back down a fucking smidge about that statement either. He's like, I don't give a fuck. That was a weird moment. Unless that wasn't Skip Bayless that did that. But I swear to God, Skip Bayless like talks shit about Dak crying, and like that like started like a whole thing about like the NFL really going hard about mental health. Because the NFL basically, we can't have like one of our most prominent voices in terms of media representation shitting on players for being open with their mental health, and not like have it, a lot like there was a lot like shit going on with some players recent. It sounds like I think Hayden Hurst had a lot of stuff going on. Max Crosby had a lot of things going on. Sounds like Kareem Hunt went through a few things as well. Like there's like that, like Josh Gordon was going through a lot. Ricky Williams obviously went through quite a bit. Like, again, there's a lot of, as we talked about earlier, there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers in that league. And that craziness there's probably several like bipolar people in the league. There's probably a lot of fucked up people. I mean, it probably could even be like induced, like trauma induced. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Skip probably can't read his comments, or else he probably gets triggered and wants to fucking yell and fight everybody. You could probably get him in a debate really quick. But anyway, Texans Broncos. I just don't really know. Yeah, Colts. I had I had the Jaguars with the upset in that one. I had Saints over Bucks, Panthers over Giants, Patriots over Steelers, Rams over Falcons. Man, my nose is all stuffy now. I'm gonna blow it again real quick. How long do you think he stands there? Like in those bizarre poses where he had his leg kicked out like this? You think it was like for like 2 seconds? He's like, hurry up, take the picture. More confident against the Steelers. We play like garbage against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. We don't usually win that game. Especially early in the season. If we have to do it early or late in the season, if it's middle of the season, we'd win it. But like during the fucking beginning or end of the season, we don't play very well for whatever reason. The Patriots kind of like come in like monster, like they sputter in the season and then they win every game in the middle of the season and then they lose like the last two. It's like a very consistent pattern with Belichick. If they start like if they can muster through the first 6 games at least 2-4, they can generally make the playoffs. Because I think Belichick goes with the philosophy you can lose 7 games and still probably make the playoffs. Yeah, they beat up UConn, which is pretty big. Very impressive win for Michigan. They beat the mighty UConn Huskies, who are known for their football prowess. But yeah, it was an impressive win though. The State's better. No, I don't know. I don't really watch college football. But yet again, if the Pats offense looks like the same as if the Patriots offense plays like they did against Miami, you guys will win by like 30 points. Hey, what's up, Raven? Oh, what do you mean complete? Oh, yeah, I mean things, probably just sounds better. Yeah, everything's all fixed up. Everything's pretty solid now. Tomorrow? I don't know. Very early, probably 8 a.m. I got a lot of shit I gotta do. I'll be live at 1 for the Patriots and Steelers game. Oh, dude, yeah, Jags literally haven't lost to the Colts at home since 2014. And outside of that one, it's even like it's one of the things where it's like they got just like a really good career home record against the Colts, even against Peyton Manning. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Dirty Rob on TV, or not on TV, but on YouTube. I have like a weirdly unique YouTube name, and it's like I don't have to put numbers after it ever, like anywhere. And I don't, and I think it's because I don't think most people would call themselves Dirty Rob. It's kind of when that fucking weird Dirty Dom guy was like raping chicks. I had to change my brand identity. I learned about that guy and went, oh fuck, dude. I have literally dirty in front of my first name, and it sounds like I'm like a fan of that guy. Fuck. Yeah, I appreciate that, Nathan. I'm trying. I hope I get a little bit bigger, and then like once I'm in the double-digit subscribers, maybe some of the bigger channels will want to actually work with me a little bit. Steelers due to lose? Hopefully tomorrow. Patriots are going to wake up. Their offense is going to be good. It's going to be a good day for the Patriots. Yeah, I hope so, Raven. Texans versus the Broncos, though. I think the way that the Broncos... Dude, my nose is so fucked up from that laughing. That shit was so stupidly funny. The Skip Bayless pictures. Where was Dirty Crime Guy? Dirty Dom? He spells it like Deurte, and when I found that out, I went, oh, people don't even... Okay, I don't have to worry about that. And I went back, and then because I also went, I don't think anybody, like half my audience, I don't think knows I switched my name to Rob After Dark, because I got freaked out about the name association. Yeah, he did some rapey shit or something like that. I don't know what he got accused of, but it wasn't good, and I panicked because I was like, damn it, I've had this name since 2012 though. Been using this fucking brand. Like there's like a thing hanging way up there where it's like I created that in like 2011 or 2012 when I was like a freshman or a sophomore in college. I can't remember what year. And it was like one of my, and like it's DRTV, you know what I mean? It's like literally like a very long vision of building this idea. But then fucking some dude with the foot named Dirty Dom did some rape shit, and fucking I'm like, damn it. People are gonna think I'm fucking trying to copy this guy, but I've probably got more documented fucking proof that I've had this identity for like a decade. I didn't even call myself Dirty Rob at first. That was a nickname I got because I used to fucking be pretty fucking not very good. I used to say some wild ass shit to people. I used to be very absolute on certain free speech topics, like any words, anything was good because I didn't really care about the impact that they could have on people, and I thought generally it was very funny to make people mad because of words. And then I realized as an adult that's called stochastic terrorism. So basically, why that was bad, what I was doing, I would say things to incite people. Like I would say things that I know would like fundamentally piss them off. Like I'd like, okay, I know they're religious. They're like deeply religious. I'm gonna go call God a fag and say that he's not real and like really like no, I would do it with the intention of trying to trigger them into a violent response, or like try and get them and like to be like. I tried to fight like I was a fucking piece of shit when I was like a teenager. I don't know why I was like that. I was a very weird fucking teenager, and I think it's because I wasn't intellectually stimulated at school. I should have been pushed ahead 2 grades probably, but like my parents thought socially it probably wouldn't be a good idea to push me ahead and advance me and make me skip a grade or 2. And retrospectively, I wish they would have pushed me ahead because, you know, I was very bored in school. I finished high school English when I was 15. I literally did nothing in English. I was like, well, I'm done with that. I got all the credits done. They're like, we don't even. What do we do? I wasn't put in a situation, and I went to a very good school. It's just like. My parents didn't let me advance, so it's fucking stupid. So I was kind of stuck because they were more concerned with the social development. And it's like, yeah, that long term that probably was a better idea, but also I was a fucking bully to everyone who was stupid. So, and I don't think I would have been able to bully. Like something clicked in my head where if somebody stuttered, I would mercilessly go after them. And like I literally to this day feel bad about doing that. That's one of the things I literally feel bad about. I like think back to like I literally would go learn how to read whenever somebody stuttered, and I don't even know why I did that. Like I'd be very frustrated that somebody would dare to read out loud if they couldn't read very well, and I'm like, holy shit, why was I such a bully? I'm glad I'm not like that as an adult, and I'm a very kind person to people who are. But like, boy, was I was on a bad path when I was a kid. Good thing I realized that when I fucking broke my back, that life is very. I literally changed after I fucked my back up. Like after that happened, I was like, huh, this is interesting, and I became a very different person after that. I learned that there is a very fragile nature to life, and you probably shouldn't run around being a raging asshole to everybody. I like both my parents equally. Dad is nothing but good for money. I'm sorry to hear about that, but my parents, one of the things we may not have been blessed with a lot of money, that which is that's always hey, what's up, that one guy? Panthers 56, Giants 3. Hey, at least you guys beat the Titans. No one can take that away from you guys. You like? Oh yeah, I forget you're an Eli guy. I don't think you can ever. Giants fans will never say anything bad about Eli. But yeah, my parents, I was very like we didn't have a lot of money, but again, I was kind of blessed with the fact that they're very like I don't know, like they were good parents in like retrospect. Like looking back, you have to like think about how like everybody develops in your family and how like everyone turns out. But like all of us except my brother, one of my brothers didn't graduate high school, and two of them didn't. But but they also like both hold like very steady good jobs. They went, we're done with school. We have no use to be here. Can we like go get jobs? Because like for some reason my two brothers just had like this like weird energy where they like couldn't be told what to do. My two little brothers, very good guys, they can handle it now, like they grew out of it, but when they were growing up, they were literally, if you told them what to do, they would look at you and be like, no. They'd do the opposite. My brother, one of them, both of them, one of them, he was so, they put him in karate, so they like so he learned to control himself, because like he was so strong, he could like he like knew how to like break sinks off at the bathroom in the school. So you know what this motherfucker did and got fined for one time? He literally broke a sink. He got in trouble and kicked out of school for a little while for breaking sinks off in the bathroom. Like it's just school wasn't right for him, you know what I mean? Judging a fish by its ability to climb a mountain is one of the dumbest things you could ever do. The guy is probably yeah, no, he should have been in a trade school. This is where I'm going with that. With his hands, there is probably not somebody more gifted in the entire world. Like literally my brother is probably so like he is so like bodily smart. It's like scary. And he's like with his hand, like he can like do almost anything with like two. Like he's one of like the greater mechanically inclined people I think I've ever, like it's crazy. Like book smarts are something that he's, you know, he's as an adult, he's like learning more and like learning how to learn. And he's like talks with me about like how to like pick knowledge up and like why it's important to, he says he regrets not to like learning more and like taking school more seriously when he was a kid. But like he also understands like it is what it is. You can't like change the past. But like if he would have been put into a trade school, they would have immediately recognized like, oh, this kid has got like a severe, like very high mechanical inclination. He's very, very good with his hands. So like it's like the same with my other little brother. But then me, my one brother, and my sister, I'm getting a master's and probably a PhD. My sister has like I think she's going to get like she wants to be like a master pharmacist or something like that, or like the people who dispense the pills at CVS. She wants to be like the main doctor lady like that. Like the main doctor. That's what she like kind of like is her gig at a place like that. I don't know which one I don't know which one it specifically is. Could be Rite Aid. There's like they're all the same. I think it's all the same store. They just call them a different one. It's all owned by like the same guy, I think. He's like, I own all these drugstores. I'm gonna call them something slightly different. It's just like, all right, well, why are you doing this? I make my own competition. He's like stressing about losing one of the businesses. He's like, dude, you own all of them. Who gives a shit? Fuck you. If I was rich, I'd do bizarre ass shit like that. I'd have businesses like that I own compete against each other just to see what happens. Be like, well, I technically only come out even if one of them fails miserably and one of them succeeds wildly. So it's no fucking consequence to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it'd be hilarious to do that, but it's a good thing I'm not a rich person, and I was never going to be given the audacity or the ability to be rich. I could become wealthy, though, and that'd become a problem because I'd do bizarre ass shit. I'd pay money for people to do weird shit. I'd get, like, it'd be like, I'd go up to someone and be like, hey, for like $300-400, how fast do you think you could run and like fucking run head first into something? And I'd be like, I'll just give you the money. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking nothing to me. And I know fucking idiots would do it because I'd be like, oh, there we go, that's hilarious. And then I'd go broke really quick, I'm pretty sure, if I had a lot of money. Because I'd be doing all kinds of dumb shit, giving people money left and right. Be like, here you go, I don't want any of this. I don't fucking care. I'd pay off like 10 years of fucking rent somewhere and be like, all right, I don't care about the rest of it. Or I'd probably just go buy a house and property and then, you know, and then I'd move on from fucking having to deal with all that. See how many years ahead I can prepay property tax. And be like, all right, let's see how many years ahead I can get a fucking out of dealing with this fucking shit. Pretty sure you can't do that, but maybe you can. But can I just like have an open account? I'll just give you the like $20,000 now, and you just use that for, you know, like 5-6 years worth of rent or whatever this is. Property tax. Nah, I never would. You know, even if I became like a pretty wealthy guy, I think my biggest problem would probably just be giving away money to people. That would probably be because I'd be like, I don't want anyone to struggle. That sucks. And if someone would be telling me their problems, and I'd be like, I could just give them $1,000 and it'd fix every single problem in their life right now. And I have like abundance of that. You know what I mean? And like, there's no part of me that would be like physically unable to do. Like, I wouldn't be able to like do that because I fall for sob stories very easily. I'm like, oh, that's fucking the worst thing I've ever heard. I wish I could help out. It's probably why it's a good thing I don't have any money. Steelers fans talking shit about Big Ben. How dare they? Or Seahawks fans booing Russ. Yeah, it's weird. Like, Patriots fans only booed Brady while the game was going on. After the game and before the game, like before like he came in, we gave this man a hero's home welcome. It was like, but as soon as the game started, we booed the man. It's a respect thing. You know what I mean? You don't cheer for your competition, even if it's Tom Brady. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. But the Patriots literally gave him a hero's welcome, cheered him initially, which the other teams didn't even do that for their guys when they didn't do that. Like, we gave him like a whole big welcome back to Brady, and then we booed him a little bit because, you know, what are we going to cheer for him while he's beating us and throwing touchdowns against us? No, we're not going to cheer to lose. You don't want to do. The boos were gracious boos. I don't think a lot of Patriots fans like Gronkowski, though. I think they view him as kind of weak. I don't know why. I love Gronk. It sucks that he just likes to really play with Tom Brady. I don't blame him. I'd have left to Tampa Bay. I'd have been like, shit, I gotta get out of here and get to Tampa. Uh-oh. Tom, can I come with you guys? You guys want me to come? I get to come? I'll be down there as soon as I possibly can. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what the fuck? You gonna say no to playing with Tom Brady? It'd be weird. It's a very confident team to be like, yeah, we don't. Like, if it's true that the Raiders actually rejected Tom Brady, it's just hilarious to think about. Like, man, he would have probably won them a Super Bowl. But they decide to go with Derek Carr. Or Miami, sticking with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick over Brady. That might be even... I think Brady rejected them because they went, yeah, this place sucks. He was going to buy like half the team and they were going to be like, all right, you get to be a player owner. Don't really know why you want to buy the Dolphins. I think they might just be the cheapest team, so that's why he was looking to buy them. He seems to be really wanting to establish residence in Miami. Hopefully he moves back to Boston and becomes a Patriots coach or something. I don't fucking know. He's working at, what, Fox or so? I don't know. Anyway, what game are we even on? Cardinals and Raiders? I got completely distracted from fucking covering these games. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, let's go back to the games. Cardinals, Raiders. This is honestly one of the better games of the week, actually, the Cardinals and the Raiders. Two teams that surprisingly lost their openers. I guess the Raiders, not a surprising loss because of who they played. They play the Chargers, right? Yeah, that's not as like crazy to lose to them, but like it's not as crazy to lose to the Chiefs either. But the way that the Cardinals lost was very troubling to me. It's either one of two things, right? Their defense is either complete horseshit, which is very possible without they're like missing a few key players. Like there's like weird injuries, and I can't remember who, but I know that they're dealing with like some weird specific injuries. And they don't have DeAndre Hopkins till like week 6, so week 7. So despite all that, I picked the Cardinals to win because I think the Raiders are going to take a few games to get going this season. That's kind of how a Josh McDaniels offense operates, like how a Josh McDaniels team kind of is ran. It's going to be very similar to how Bill Belichick kind of starts off. So you're probably going to see the Raiders start kind of slow and then pick up steam about mid-season, and then become like very, very hard to deal with as the season goes along. But early on is the time you want to face the Raiders. So if your team winds up facing them really early on in the season, it's probably for the best. Because by about week 4, this is going to be a very solid football team that you don't really want to deal with. But it's going to take like a few games for them to get like the chemistry all down right. Especially, it's again because it's a lot of the same guys, but it's a brand new systems and like a brand new number 1 receiver. So there's going to be just a little bit of chemistry building going. You know, it's not a lot of change, but it's enough change to where it's like, all right, you probably have to build a little bit of build a little bit here. And I think running into a team like the Cardinals that are basically the same team that they've always been is kind of like bad for a team this early on in the season, which is why I'm going with the Cardinals. And again, it's like a slim reason. It's a very like, if this was week 5, I would probably wind up going with the Raiders. But like it's week 2 and the Cardinals feel like they just played a shitty bad game. And the Raiders, it's kind of similar. Like they just look like a team that's not quite all there yet, which is common with a new coach who has a notoriously very hard offense to like pick up and learn. That's another thing. It's like if it was anybody else's offense where it's like, oh no, it's a very easy offense. Every team can pick it up and usually use it. No, McDaniels actually is notoriously known to have an offense that's hard. Like it actually takes a second for people to pick it up. Like people think it's like a joke, like, oh, his offense is so hard. It's like players. It's like, no, it's a hard offense. That's like players talk about it. They're like, no, it's tough to pick up the verbiage is weird. It's all fucking different. But McDaniels does use the same verbiage everywhere. So it's the same playbook as when he was in New England. Which is interesting. Same names and everything. It's interesting that he didn't change it for the Raiders. I'm wondering if that's going to wind up hurting him. Because one of the things I noticed about the way the plays the Raiders were running, I'm like, oh, dude, that's the Patriots offense. What the fuck? Like down to like I was like, oh, I know what they're going to do on 3rd and long. 3rd and 12, they're going to throw a screen pass. And they came out and threw a 3rd and 12 screen pass. I was like, whoa, no way is that real? That's real. Okay, so it's like he didn't even he's not even changing like the base philosophy of his offense, where it's like, oh, 3rd and long, throw a screen. They'll never see it coming again. Josh, you run that 99% of the time on this play. You will run it. Yeah, but how often does it work? Fuck you, Josh. That's all literally just because it like almost always works for him too. The Josh McDaniels special is is the seam pass on is a little screen pass on fucking 3rd and 12. There's nothing you can do about it coming either. It's just. Anyway, so yeah, I got the Cardinals winning. Packers versus Bears. There's not really a lot there to discuss. The interesting thing is that the Packers could lose this game for the first time to Chicago in a long time, I think. I don't remember the last time they lost to the Bears in what was like a legitimate just like they just lost because right now the Bears are a better team kind of situation. Like the Packers, again, they have Aaron Rodgers, so they've always got that advantage against the Bears. But the other problems for the Packers is like they looked They looked abysmal against the Vikings. Like, they played very bad football. They made bad mistakes. They just looked off-timed. They looked like they just kind of, I don't know, they looked like a team that definitely lost all their good all their old wide receivers and stuff. Like, they definitely look like a team with a whole slot of rookie receivers and Alan Lazard. That's for darn sure. It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have let Devontae. Well, that was kind of going to happen anyway. Maybe you should have signed some other talent like Odell Beckham, or, you should maybe try to get that. Odell might be a pretty good idea for the Packers fans if, at this point, right? Because it's like, well, you guys could use the insurance, like in like week 7 or 8 when he's like ready to play. You guys have nothing. So I'm going to pick the Packers in this game because they just don't lose to the Bears. You know what's even worse what's even weirder, Ven, is he was going to go to the Patriots before the Packers too. It was like Rams, Packers, and then Patriots. It was like, what's with Odell's weird Bill Belichick? He really likes the Patriots. Like, I think he's a Patriots fan. I'm like 80% positive that like his favorite team is actually the New England Patriots, but he just kind of like is like afraid to take the step and sign. I don't know what it is at this point. It's like, dude, just sign with us, please. You know Mac isn't a bad quarterback. You defended him. He's literally defended Mac Jones several times. So I don't know. Maybe there is something there. You know how annoying it is to hear that we were like every good player's second destination of choice. It's like, God damn it. How'd we miss out on every good player again? It was them or the Patriots, and I'm like, fuck, the fucking... I wonder if people are just lying when they say that. Titans and Bills. I got the Bills winning. Titans are a weird, disappointing... but see, this is a game they win usually now. It's like primetime Brian Tannehill. Is that like a bad thing? Well, he wanted a Super Bowl ring, 100% guaranteed. Pats and Packers unfortunate with free agent. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, Patriots didn't do anything in free agency. We didn't have any money. No, we literally signed like almost every good free agent 2 years ago. We can usually generally bring in any players. It's just like fucking we were broke this year. Fucking bullshit. It was a bad free agency class anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Next year is a better class. And the Patriots are about to have $80 million because we don't have to pay a quarterback any real money right now. Yeah, the Patriots have $80 million next year. Do you think $80 million can fix the small mistakes or the small holes on the Patriots roster? Yeah, we have nobody to pay, by the way. Like, nobody's due a big contract. Anybody who is, we could just fucking get rid of them because we don't need them. It's literally one of them things where if you go look at it, it's like, oh, shit, he's not wrong. They have 80 million. And then the year after that, if we don't pay Mack until year 4 or 5, like a lot of teams are going to, what we'll probably do, we'll have $180 million to play with. So we'll get $100 extra million in the year after that. So in the next 2 seasons, the Patriots get 185 approximate dollars to build with. You think they can do anything with that? Yeah, Christian Kirk being the best free agent wide receiver is a pretty bad class. DJ Chark was a pretty good pickup too, though, I think. Oh yeah, like Green Bay's bad because but see, like that's the weirdest thing is in the past it's never been a problem getting like good receivers in Green Bay. I don't know why they struggle with getting receivers up there with Aaron Rodgers. I'll be right back. You know what the problem I think it is? And it's like a unique problem for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think receivers like playing with him. I think he's very weird with his receivers. Because Brett Favre was like literally like a receiver magnet. Everybody wanted to go play with Brett Favre. But like it's weird with quarterbacks like Odell, or like not Odell, but Mahomes, and Rodgers right now. Like nobody wants to go play with. Like it's like, what the fuck is that? If I was a receiver, I'd be trying to get to the best arms, right? Like the guys are trying to get to Josh Allen. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They want to go to Brady. They want to go to Allen. Which that, like, you know, they're like, but it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like things are kind of weird about that. I don't see Packers have a downfall. I could be wrong. Who knows? I don't think the Packers are going to be bad. I think they'll get it figured out in a few games, but we'll see. It's too early in the season to call any team's season over. But picking up wide receivers in free agent is hard. Even yeah, because you guys don't have an owner. You guys need to like pick like a guy to be the owner to like really just make all the decisions. You guys literally have never had this problem in the past, though. It's so weird. Green Bay used to literally be a football destination. Like it's literally like, I don't know. It's not. I think Aaron Rodgers is a big part of the problem. I'll be honest with you. I could see him being kind of not likable. Like think about how different the team felt with Brett Favre at the helm. Yeah, sure, the play was crazier and more erratic, but was there ever a question about if that team was behind Brett Favre for the entire time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like people really enjoyed playing with Brett Favre. Like, you know, like there's like, hey, what's up, Alex? Yeah. It's almost like there's like zero stories of him being a bad teammate, Brett Favre. Like, it's literally like, yeah, I don't really agree with his after football views or really care for him, but like his fucking hell of a football player. Literally, I don't think anybody ever questions Brett Favre as like a football player. I've like never heard like, and like it seems like Green Bay was like a because he had like unreal talent at receivers. There was Sterling Sharp, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings. Like you had all these guys that just really wanted to be in Green Bay and like loved playing with Brett Favre in Green Bay. Like Driver and Jennings, like I'm pretty sure Jennings like left Green Bay because he didn't like Aaron Rodgers. Like it was very public. What's up, Daniel? And I don't think he liked that Rodgers usurped the job. Yeah. They didn't leave. They didn't want to leave with Brett Favre. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, they didn't leave when Brett Favre was there. Like, everybody leaves with Aaron Rodgers. Like Devontae Adams wouldn't have left the Brett Favre. Yeah, that's what I'm like. They like Donald. I don't think Driver ever left. Like, I think he just stayed. Jennings only left because Favre left. I think he left because he's like, I don't want to fucking play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. Again, he has like a weird. I don't know what happened between Greg Jennings and Aaron Rodgers. Something happened with those two, though. like something weird happened between them two, because like there's like a, or am I imagining that? Or did he leave because of the team? It's old anyway. So it's old hat. Who cares? Greg Jennings doesn't play anymore. He's long retired. Vikings and Eagles. I got the Vikings. I'm running out of steam to give this game, to give more energy. I gotta like write poetry still tonight and work a little bit. You're hoping the Steelers can win tomorrow? Should be able to. But yeah, that's all the games basically there. We've been live for 2.5 hours, so I'm going to probably start to get close to wrapping this up. I'll probably wrap up in the next 10 minutes here. Ugh, that was a good stream, though. Ugh. If I didn't have to write, I'd keep streaming, but I have to get some shit. I have to like write tonight and like get a whole poem done. I have the poem's written in my head, so it's literally like the act of just like typing really fastly and like editing it a little bit. That's the benefit of me like doing the writing the way that I write. I have to get a lot of shit written in the next couple days, but like it's pretty much all done. I just got to like put the actual process out of my brain now. You know what I mean? Because like the hardest part about the writing for me is like it's never filling up the pages, because like I'll write the whole thing in my head several times over and edit and change parts, and then finally when it's just like actually physically starting it, because then it's like complete. It's whatever. Patriots offense is not an offense that isn't unfixable. No, they don't have the same problem like the Cowboys. You guys are fun. You guys don't have a quarterback, first and foremost, and your offensive line is really bad. The Patriots are installing a new offense with very young players at the center of it, led by a second-year quarterback. If you expect their offense to be like perfect in the first 1 or 2 weeks of this regular season, yeah, it's not a high IQ football take. Now, if it's like week 6 and they still look like shit, yeah, that's probably time to turn the alarm on. But again, you got to remember that the Patriots are now running a brand new offensive system. They are running the West Coast offense for the first time ever. And they have a fucking very young football team in general in terms of like offensive line, like who's actually playing. It's again led by a second-year quarterback. Like there's a lot of reasons where you normally look at a situation and be like, yeah, of course that team's going to have a little bit of problem. But people are like, the Patriots are fundamentally broken on offense. It's like, or they're just new and it probably needs more than like a week or two to get fucking settled in after running a different system. And now a rookie's running, or a second-year quarterback is running a second different offense in the NFL. Usually guys get quite a bit of slack for that situation. Hopefully Cowboys. Why do you want the Cowboys to get... Oh, are you a Cowboys fan? Cheeto? Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Why do I forget you're a Cowboys fan? I don't know what team I thought you rooted for. Amazon Prime broadcast? I don't know. It seems pretty good. I don't really listen to games with audio on though. Like on my end, it's usually like I don't put like headphones in because I don't want to talk too loud. You know what I mean? I could like be like screaming into the mic with headphones on and not realize it. So to like self-monitor my audio levels, I just don't have headphones. It's good. It's a good broadcast though. It's a solid one. I like it. I don't know. I don't know. I think all NFL. I like the presentation of most NFL games. Um, CBS looked like shit though on their or NBC. One of who was the season opener? It was like all weird and like oversaturated or something, or over white balanced or something. What like the Rams Bills game looked like absolute dog shit. I don't know what happened. Like the camera was just weird on it. Like I don't know. I don't like. I think they just like edited it bad or something. I don't know. Like they had an effect on the like fucking camera or something. Like somebody was playing with something. Like, did anyone else notice that? Like, it seemed like weirdly dark. Like, I'm like, I didn't say anything during the stream because I thought I was just kind of like, it might have just been my personal thing. And then I went and kind of looked around and I seen other like people notice it. So I kind of know it's like a thing. But I really was kind of like, I thought I was just fucking going crazy when I was watching the game. I was like, there's something weird fucking about this broadcast. It's like it feels like it's darker. Something feels washed out. I couldn't quite put my finger on what was going on, but I still can't. Something just felt weird about NBC's presentation. I don't even think it was as bad this last Sunday, but you know we'll find out. We'll find out if things. Well, let's end on a funny thing. Another funny picture of Skip Bayless. Let's see if it wants to work this time. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's much better. I've already laughed very hard at this picture, so I'm not going to laugh again. That leaves you a lot to think about. You know, whenever I think about a tyrant, this is the image that comes to my head. Like, that's exactly what I think a modern day, like, Benito Mussolini would look like. That's exactly how he dresses, like Drip Bayless. I also want to know, why the hell is he just standing in there? Like, there's a lot of questions about this picture, right? Like, there's just so many. Like, what size shoe does this guy wear? Like, how fucking big them things look. Because he's not a very tall guy. So, is it like a weird perspective thing where he's got like size 9 feet, but he's like 5'4"? So they look like they're fucking way bigger than what they are. Or does he got like fucking huge ass feet? And he's just built like a fucking monster. I prefer the second one where he's got long skeletal monster feet. Or he just wears shoes that are way too big, which would be even funnier. Because like there's very funny options to this picture that are literally just starting with the shoes. Why are they so red? Why did he pick blood red shoes? Why are his fists balled up in these blood red shoes? The blood, like he's wearing a blood red fucking like he's got good I mean, he's got style. It's just there's just like so many weird, like just like the shoes. You can start with, there's literally hundreds of questions you could pose then you get up to about here and you just notice that he's fucking squaring up. He looks actually squared up right in that picture. Like if he just seen LeBron James in the hallway. That's basically what that picture is. Yeah, he's literally built. He's a Batman villain. Like this is what LeBron James sees as soon as. Like this is LeBron James's like fucking like delirious, like if like LeBron James does a delirium, like fucking does like DMX or takes too many fucking Benadryl, like this he doesn't see like the Hat Man or like have like weird fucking like terrible scary trips that they don't remember. he sees Skip Bayless squaring up at him, and then he goes away really fast, and then he like closes his eyes, and Skip Bayless comes back, and he's standing there squared up on him. This is definitely one of LeBron's fucking horror images. Skip having the high ground too. Oh boy, that'd be a fucking nightmare. Because you know Skip's going to hit some swinging ass DDT on LeBron if he ever gets him in this position. He's going to fucking hit him with like one of them Rey Mysterio ass leg moves where he like jumps and like puts you in like a headlock with his legs and like flips you around that way. I don't even know how people do that, but Skip probably knows how to do that. And he's going to get your ass in a fucking hallway like that where he's got the upper ground. He's even got the smirk on his face where he knows he's got the fucking win already. Because he's like, oh, look, you're about to get fucking 619. I'm going to 619 you on this fucking staircase. Because he's going to hit the weird leg thing, knock him down, then fucking swing around on that leg thing right here. He's at like the corner right here. He's going to use that and knock someone the fuck out really hard. I already know his move. And you know what's scary is he could probably physically actually pull that off because at the age of like 72, he's in better physical shape than probably like 90, almost. He's probably the best guy his age in shape-wise like ever. You got to think not many 70-year-old people are actually like in his kind of shape. A lot of guys who are 70 are like CM Punk does it too, yeah, I think. A lot of wrestlers, I think they're called Hurricane Rana DDTs. I think they're just DDTs with your legs, and I think they're called Hurricane Rana DDTs. I think that's all that it is. I used to actually know what the names of that, I used to know more wrestling moves, but I don't remember the specific names like anymore. I want to look it up now. Hurricane Rana DD. Is that the leg one? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's what I thought. It looks like he's like but it's actually kind of like that. You see that shit? Look how crazy that is. You get your ass spun around by a fucking little luchador if you fuck around too hard. Rey Mysterio is like famous for that move. That's the kind of shit that that's what the move Skip Bayless will hit on you if he gets the high ground. And then usually after Rey hits that on him, he hits him with the 619 because he usually hits him on the rope with that move. Yeah, that's the Hurricane Rana DDT is one of my favorite moves just because it's like the slickest. It's so like luchador wrestling is so fucking good. I'm like, why is this so good? Why does pro wrestling? See, if we didn't have pro football, you know what the more big guys would do? They'd all be pro wrestlers. You want to know why? Because for some reason that just attracts really big weird dudes. But like a lot of them play pro football because there's a shocking number of dudes in the NFL or in the WWE who are like failed football players. There's like a shocking number of guys who like just couldn't quite make it in the NFL. And there's always like whenever you watch NFL broadcast or like a broadcast of a football or of a wrestling game event, they'll like point out like how many like football players are there, and there's like 43 members from like a football team that are at the game, and they're all like wearing shirts and like really fucking hyped up to be at the like front row at a wrestling event. And it's like, oh, these are like real fans. Like Garrett Kittle's or I think is Kittle or George Kittle, Garrett Kittle, whatever his name is. That dude's like a legitimate. I know someone with the real name like that, and I like it fucks me up if it's George or Garrett. I can't remember, but Kittle, he's like a really big wrestling fan, like an actual like I think he's like a mark as they'd call. I think he like refuses to like break kayfabe about stuff. Like he fully like buys into it. Like he gets mad at wrestlers and shit. He's like, man, fuck that guy, fucking actual piece of shit. but he's got like no actual contractual obligation to not be like in kayfabe as a fan. But like I think he just like fully buys into it. He's like, nah, I know wrestlers, man. They wouldn't. They're not lying. It's like, you know that's fake, right? Yeah. Like it's like some weird non-committal answer. It's like, but you know they do get hurt. It's like there is a weird amount of crossover though. You have, if you never noticed it, you probably will now. The amount of football and pro wrestling NFL crossover. There's a shocking number of that. There, at least there used to be. Now a lot of them are like, The Rock and Warren Sapp used to play together in college, and 4 years later, sees The Rock in the W. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's that or pro football. A lot of guys have pro wrestling or pro football because they're just big guys. Like, dude, look at The Rock. Like, there was nothing for it. He literally said there was nothing I could have did. He had no. That's what I mean by like with big guys like that. Like, what do they do if there's nothing for them to like? They can't like work at birth. They're like way too big to work normal jobs. They look off. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's like what the fuck was The Rock? The Rock didn't even know what to do. He's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm 6'8" and 300 pounds of solid muscle, but I can't figure out what to do with my life. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? So he settles on becoming the greatest pro wrestler of all time. And a very mediocre actor that everybody just really likes because, you know, they just really like the guy. I don't think there's actually a more universally liked person than Dwayne Johnson. What's up, Max? It's always been one of the most puzzle. Like, I don't know if anybody actually like hates The Rock. Like, it's one of the crazy. Like, he just shows up and everybody gets fucking hyped the fuck up, and then he leaves. He literally gets like crowds go fucking ape shit when this dude shit. Like, still, like, it's like everybody goes like, oh, it's the 90s and it's pro wrestling. It's the fucking people. That's what I mean. It's like the craziest thing. Like, it's crazy because he was very polarizing as a wrestler, actually. But much like John Cena, I don't think people can. I think there's like a weird respect for pro wrestlers who can like cross over. Like, people really like pro wrestlers who become actors. It's like it's like mainstream society really likes them even more than the wrestling fans who used to love and you know what I mean? It's like the weirdest thing. It's like, you people always wanted to like people like John Cena, but you just couldn't openly do it because it was fucking goofy because he was a wrestler. But you're like, I really like this John Cena fella. He's fucking hilarious. But pro wrestling is the last bastion of like good live theater, other than like, I guess Book of Mormon, which was, you know, that was all right. But like actual like live like Shakespearean style theater, that's pro wrestling, and it's fucking awesome. Like, that's the last version of it. That's like where I'm pretty sure that's what Shakespearean tragic like comedies, and I'll give the wrestling of pro wrestling that kind of. And if you don't believe me, go watch some of like the craziest things that have happened in wrestling, and then actually go read a Shakespeare play, and you'll be like, yeah, that's kind of actually similar. What the fuck? Like, for example, like the plot of Romeo and Juliet is like a 13-year-old girl and like a 17-year-old boy run off together and kill themselves because their parents don't want them to be together. That's basically the plot of that fucking movie or play. That's not any crazier than, you know, those whole star-crossed lovers and they're not supposed to be together. That's like basic, like, pro wrestling kind of does shit like that. Like, for example, Vince McMahon got his daughter stolen by Triple H. He drugged Stephanie McMahon up.
took her to a drive-through marriage place in Las Vegas, and then eloped with her while she was drugged up and passed out in the front seat. Drugged up and passed out in the front seat, and they got married that way. And then Triple H also drove a giant tank at the company one day, and no one really ever gave a shit that he did that, I guess, for some reason. They kept him employed even though he like led a literal vote with the tank at the company one day. It was pretty crazy. Wrestling is awesome, but like people really do like the level of craziness in the storytelling. If you just look at it from like an objective out, like if you disattach the goofy wrestling aspect where it's just like really muscly guys fighting each other and it's kind of gay. If you can look past that part, there's like actually like weird levels of like hilarious storytelling and just really funny storytelling happening. Vince McMahon is one of the craziest storytellers and writers of an entire generation that gets zero credit for being like a talented playwright. I honestly, because like what was bigger than pro wrestling in like the 90s? Like when it was like when he had all those dudes and all those pieces to play with, that dude was literally churning out television that could not be like the fucking Raw war shit. Like, dude, like some of the stuff is still like talked about as like the craziest shit that's ever happened on television was being produced by Vince McMahon, like live and on the spot. Like he was just making shit up as it was going, and he gets no credit now because he's did some foul shit, but like before he never really got credited as like a great writer or like a great playwright, which I think he should. He's clearly very good at it. He makes like 98% of the decisions for pro wrestling. And look how big it got under his fucking decision making. This man can make careers happen for people. He can put them into stardom and shit. It's crazy. He can write somebody into like being a fucking hero and becoming beloved by the people. Like, for example, I think one of the better storylines that they've ever produced was the Daniel Bryan storyline. If you've never seen like or heard about that story, like it's basically like the underdog wins the the impossible title, but the way that they were able to tell that story, that's like the fucking expert level fucking like writing. Like it was actually like probably their best storylines. Was if you've never seen those stories, those are it was probably some of the coolest wrestling. Like it became semi believable again, and it was just when wrestling can make you go, is this really happening, or is this like is this all being like, what's the actual angle here? Are they basically going because he's not a big strong guy, they don't want him to have the titles? Is that like the actual like, and that's basically, yeah, that was kind of the angle they were running. So it's like slightly believable that that's like the reason they wouldn't want him to be the champion. But like that's not, there's no way they actually thought that, because like they let him become the champion. You know what I mean? So like there's this crazy like I think it's very fun, good writing, and I think it's very you only get to do it in pro wrestling. Because like all other TV is so shit, like, and like super like scripted and super hyper, like not live. But then you get fucking pro wrestling and they're like, oh, here we go. Like, quick, get ready. We got to fucking hold, like a whole like series of events can just change on a decision on a night. Someone's whole championship run can just be ended because Vince had a bad day and just went, fuck him. I'm tired of him. Like, and he's like, and then someone else is now champion. Like that could be the decision, and no one else could question it. You can't even be. If you asked why, you're fired. Like, I built $1 billion empire. Please don't question my fucking decisions. And everybody had to go, yeah, fair enough. He actually did build everything he pretty much decides works. You know what's hilarious? A lot of people have always said it was Vince McMahon is who Donald Trump wishes he turned out like was. And I'm like, maybe. Probably. Very similar guys. Very, very similar guys. But I do think that Trump wishes he was Vince McMahon. I'll be honest with you. I think he wishes he would have got the pro wrestling gig. He'd have been like, damn, that's probably a lot more fun. Fuck, I wish I would have thought of that. But Trump also probably would have been a good fucking wrestling promoter too. He's a very entertaining individual. So. Again, those two guys are very, very similar, Trump and Vince McMahon. There's like so much similarity between the two of those two guys. It's very, very eerie. I think it's because they're both like technically considered like what would you call like white trash billionaires. Like they're. Which is weird that Trump would be, but he like eats like McDonald's and shit, and just lives like a fucking idiot. So it's like, yeah, he's kind of like a white trash billionaire. It's not like an insult, but it's kind of because again, they're little billionaires, but you know, or close enough. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I got shit to go do. I gotta write. I'm fucking delaying just getting stuff done. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be live tomorrow for the Patriots and the Steelers and Sunday Night Football with the Bears and the Packers. So we have a couple games to do. So yeah, we'll be doing those. Should be fun. Should be a good time. I'll see you when I see you next, which will be, you know, I just did a 3-hour stream. I didn't even realize it lasted 3 hours. So a lot of content. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you when I see you next time. It's a fun time. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. Yeah, this was a very scattered picks episode, basically because I just uploaded the picks. Like when I upload the video on Tuesday normally, and then if I do this on a Saturday evening, there's actual distance between the videos where it's not basically me just repeating. That's why this was very unfocused on like the actual like core of the stream, by the way. Normally these are very specific streams where I don't really stray from talking about the games. So I do apologize for that. But again, there wasn't much difference than the video I just uploaded yesterday, you know what I mean? So there's kind of just that weird time delay. But all right, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the Patriots and the Steelers. Should be a good game. Hopefully I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you when I see you next time.